You took a nasty fall.
Well, why are you in my group?
You took a nasty fall. Hey.
Good morning, Act. Good morning, Blade Cabal. Good morning, Arcana. Good morning, Giga, who is currently Kirbying her food. Good morning, Hazardous. Good morning, Latario. So I do apologize for being late. I know, it's usual for me to be late, but there's usually a reason. And there's definitely a reason today. And that reason is I decided to turn off my morning alarm and remove my phone from my presence so I couldn't even see the time. So I woke up at like 8:30. Still have a bit of a headache. I didn't see a trailer. I did see the the Hugh Jackman thing. Both of them.
You and me, we're getting good.
It did take me a minute to get in. I'm not sure why. Tea's good. Tea's always good. That's not true. The tea I make is always good. After I've verified that it's good. The tea I currently have in the house is always good. There we go.
General Racton and Darth Barris request additional agents.
Relay to Station 7. Updating tactical projections.
I have 3 fixers who need extraction from the Vuta. Listening posts are done, but...
Sir, go on ahead. I'll have the Minders debrief your team while you wait for Keeper.
It looks like you're in crisis mode. What's going on?
It's been like this since the fighting intensified. We've rushed training, gone to 16-hour shifts.
Sir, Operation Kingstalker needs you.
I have to go. I'm sure we'll talk more.
I'm sure you caught that Barris reference. Yeah, and Thanaton.
Cleo Janice, I'll be interviewing you now.
Last girl who tried broke her jaw. Don't be like her.
Hello, Keeper.
It isn't my office anymore, but Keeper is occupied and I thought we should talk. It's been a long time, Agent.
I haven't seen you since Eradication Day. Keeper said you were promoted to Minister of Intelligence.
Yes, my wife says the position suits me.
Scan complete. No listening devices found.
Broadcast mode. White noise 10 minutes, then leave. We may as well be honest. I know about the stolen files. I know you discovered your brainwashing and freed yourself. And yes, I was responsible.
That is yet another reason I really like Keeper. The fact that he just is like, okay, and just throws all his cards on the table. Right there.
I gave my life to the Empire. Is this how you reward loyalty?
The Sith wanted you under control. You survived Darth Jadis. How long before you defied another on the Dark Council? The programming was a safeguard, and if I hadn't approved it, you'd be dead. I don't plan to tell anyone you're free.
That's another reason I like Keeper. What he did was wrong on many levels, but he did it to keep us alive. Because, and you were probably wondering this throughout Act 2, why didn't the Sith just kill us? This is why. Because he gave them an alternative to killing us. Otherwise, under normal circumstances, what would have happened is they would have just gone, and that would have been the end of us.
The Republic had the keyword. Where did they get it?
That's an excellent question. The SIS should never have possessed Imperial brainwashing codes. Auden Koth's shuttle was found abandoned in space without any data on your shadow arsenal. And according to our records, there's no evidence of an agent hunter ever existing.
Care to explain that?
Someone, Your hunter or his employer is manipulating this war for his own ends. Someone with access to both Republic and Imperial resources. This someone gave Arden Koth your keyword. We need to find out who and why.
What sort of person could pull those strings? Imperial intelligence and SIS. Not to mention Jedi and Sith.
Let's not elaborate on theories until we have facts. Fortunately, the trail is still warm. Yesterday, a man fitting Hunter's description boarded a shuttle to the Eisen IV asteroid colony. 9 hours ago, we received this message.
Imperial Fleet Command, this is Representative Omana Trog of the Eisen IV mining colony. We have been monitoring your victories in this sector. While we continue to accept refugee transports, our defense systems are minimal and our population is 90% civilian. We cannot afford a confrontation. Under Republic law, I am authorized to discuss terms of surrender. All weapons powering down.
Our forces will arrive there tomorrow. We don't know if the colony's surrender is related to Hunter's arrival, but I want you after him.
If Hunter is still at the colony, I'll find him.
Very well. We'll speak again soon.
And if you didn't catch that, everything about what he just did to us and for us and ordered us to do is completely off the books. Even Imperial books. Screw it, let's do this. Unless... So I know there's a fight coming up. Does anybody want to help me with this fight? I can pick you up somewhere. Okay, I'll head to Fleet. It's a very, 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 very common thing to have an Act 1 be a victory, Act 2 end in defeat, and then Act 3 be the triumphant return. What amuses me is when certain, what's a good word to use, snobs like to say that as if that's a bad thing. Do not count me among that number. I actually think that fairly basic formula works extremely well. Mostly because it's always down to execution. Alright, I'm ready for people. I'll just chill here for a minute. Looks like I am on Imperial Fleet 1. But you'll notice how that is exactly the pattern we're going through here. Act 1 not only ends in defeating Jadis, which is a big deal, but us successfully taking down a multi-planetary terrorist ring which is trying to sabotage Imperial operations. That's not a small feat. Act 2 has us realizing exactly how, not just how outclassed we are and how outmaneuvered we are, but trying to do everything we can to survive against that huge offset. And it doesn't even really end in victory, because while we successfully accomplish our mission with Arden, we fail at everything else we try to do in Act 2, with one extremely critical exception. We get rid of the brainwashing. No, this is mine. It says an asthma at the top. I don't even see Giga. Which instance are you in? Oh no, you're in it. Hang on, let me poke out. Yeah, see, I'm right here. Oh, hang on, let me join mine. How about now? You're joining yours, Giga. I'm surprised it's not giving you the option. Hi, Dortaran. And good morning, everyone I haven't said hi to, by the way. Is there seriously no pop-up? Like, there was a pop-up for me, and I had to pick between your instance and my instance. Right at the top. Huh. Okay. So that leaves us to Act 3. Act 3, of course, is we're at the low end. We don't really have a lot of resources on our side, other than our party members who I would argue shouldn't even be there. There's also the fact that we don't have a faction anymore, really. We were loyal Imperial agents, or we weren't, but it doesn't matter because they betrayed us no matter what. And we already know that at least some people within Imperial agency are compromised. In fact, the only person we even have a hint who isn't against us is Keeper. And even that is actually a question mark. He could easily be playing us here. He is more than pragmatic enough to do that if he had a reason to do so. And that's it. We can't run to the Republic. We can't run to the Empire. I know I should call him Minister. I'm just not going to. Because if I say Keeper, you know who I'm talking about. We'll be heading to Belsavis next, yes. Okay. He's the Minister of Intelligence. It is implied, but never stated outright, that the Minister of Intelligence should be more hands-off, more of a political position. The fact that he personally came down to give us a private message off the books and off the record probably says a lot about that. I know, it's my fault, Giga. I'm sorry. So, before we get here, what do you think's going on here, in this spot we're about to go to? It's a Republic mining colony, built into an asteroid. They have just surrendered to the Empire. What's going on here?
All right, make me look good.
What? I can't move. Or do anything. What happened? Okay, we're gonna board for all, because I don't know what the hell happened there. Where the hell's Giga? I can't even see Giga. Oh, whatever.
It stinks in here. Cripes, what happened?
Stop right there, you slime. No Imperial sets foot in my home.
Your colony surrendered. The Republic won't protect you. And you think you can threaten me? Tell me what's going on.
Piece of filth. Someone sabotaged colony control. It started 2 hours after the surrender. First the tram accident, then the air filters, and the decompression. Assassin protocols and the medical droids? We surrendered. Why did you do it?
Remember, this is a 90% civilian colony.
Whoever's behind this wasn't one of ours.
Then who?
Sedative administered. Lethal overdose possible.
You and me? We're getting good.
So, okay, never mind. Hang on, Zactav, hang on.
Still alive. Not for long, though. If you want to talk, make it fast.
I need to know if you've seen an SIS agent. Codename Hunter.
What? The SIS. He went to colony control before we lost contact. I don't know if he made it out. But now it's sealed up tight. No one could make it past the...
Hold still. I have some painkillers.
Not enough. But thank you.
I don't get queasy, but even I've got limits. Let's find your guy and get out.
I mean, what's my alternative exactly, Blaterwall? Well, I can bring a bland piece of paper. I can bring Bug Boy. Or I can bring probably one of the most evil characters in this particular story arc. Yeah, I'll take Kaleo. Although there is a specific reason I'm bringing Kaleo. It's because she's written to have the most dialogue of the group. Or at least the most interesting dialogue. In my experience, anyways. So let's remember that I have a stealth here. Let's immediately get spotted. Let's kill everyone. Hello, Elizar. Sure, one moment. That's what I thought. Elizar, you subbed 2 days ago. To say, my memory isn't that bad. So you'll forgive me for not bowing again, because I sincerely doubt you somehow subbed again 2 days later for a month. But it is still nice to see you.
Identifying. Colony control systems locked down. Enter code. Remote access in progress.
No hunter, but a lot of really weird tech. Hate to say it, but maybe we should call your bosses.
Eisen IV colony to Imperial Intelligence Headquarters. Secure routing. This is Cipher 9. There's some sort of device here.
Cipher 9? I got your report, but we can barely read you. What's going on?
Most of the colonists are dead, and the control center is a wreck. Hunter might be responsible.
I'm linked into the colony's communications relay. Strange tech interference. Fixers don't recognize it, but I can shut it down. You followed me. You cut off control. I'm a little put out. Not that it really matters. I'm long gone. I got my massacre, and besides, it was for propriety more than anything.
What do you mean? Who ordered the colony destroyed?
Look, I don't have anything against that place, but if you want a war to start right, you've got to grease the wheels. When the Republic hears that the Empire slaughtered thousands of colonists who surrendered, there won't be any more peaceful resolutions.
That is what's actually going on here.
Innocent people are dead. Republic citizens. Your people.
Touchy, aren't you? Did I hit a nerve? Time for me to go. And you need to stop coming after me, Cipher 9. Because without anonymity, you won't last long, and I can make your operations very public. Blast. I couldn't trace him. I'll pull what I can from the machinery, but he's more right than he knows. The survivors are a problem.
These people surrendered before, and they're half dead. They won't be trouble.
As soon as word gets out what happened, other worlds we've captured will rebel. Watchers 7 and 9 are strategizing. They recommend eliminating the survivors on Eisen IV, so the news of the massacre is contained.
No.
What you're suggesting is unconscionable.
Then our troops will waste time putting down bloody rebellions instead of winning the war. Sir, look. I can give you the coordinates of the largest cluster of life forms. Maybe you can negotiate something. But I need to send in the death squad soon. Your reputation may be secure, but mine isn't.
And yeah, no, let's be clear. The war has already started. That's not actually what this is doing. This is making the war worse. We've talked about this before. There's gradients of war. And at the very, very top of that gradient is something called total war. And it's pretty clear Hunter wants a state of total war between the Republic and the Empire. Just get up here in melee and stab them with my knife. Sigh.
Take the injured and go! Go!
I am Representative Omana Trog of the Eisen IV mining colony. The fool who surrendered to the Empire. What do you want of us now?
Listen to me, Representative. I want to get your people out of this alive. Tell me what you need to get off this colony. We don't have much time.
You're not serious.
It's the escape pods, sir. They were sabotaged along with everything else.
Fight us.
Not much worse they can do to us, is there? If someone could activate the fail-safes, we could leave this rock.
I don't think it ever does, Latario. At least not until the expansions, maybe. Like, certainly not in vanilla.
I won't fail, I promise.
Good luck, then.
You can also just kill them all. And, yeah, sorry, Eleazar, but it's just... whoop-de-doo is really what that was my answer to that. Good morning, Evo. So at this point, effectively, our agent has come full circle.
Rise and shine.
If you're paying attention to the document, you notice I actually already jotted down a positive for this. One of the things I like about Agent over every other class in this game is it allows you to play a character arc. Now, you could argue you can do that with the other classes. I don't agree. I would say that every class allows you to roleplay a little bit, and the extent to which that they allow you has to do with the strength and quality of the writing. But Agent clearly supports you picking certain types of options at certain points in time, and someone clearly thought about what that would mean for your character.
This is Representative Trog. I see that the escape pods are functioning. We thank you. We'll take it from here.
You're welcome. Get out of here. Good morning, Evo. So how do I think people would act around Vader? Would he put all his cards on the table with him? Yes. Vader has always consistently disliked politicking in pretty much every one of his incarnations. I don't think Keeper would be stupid enough to try that. Also, Ect, you asked what CPU I'm on. I don't understand that question. Oh, I have a Ryzen. I don't even know where to begin to answer that question, Elizar. I'm sorry. Like, okay, let's bring this down to real-life parallels. Let's say that you have the power to, I don't know, tickle my ear. Now, that's distracting, but it's not going to stop me from shooting you in the face, is it? Or just slugging you as hard as I can.
Rise and shine.
And the moment I do either of those things, that tickle's probably going to go away. I mean, yes, Blade to a Fall. That's... I don't even understand why this is a question. That's why I'm so confused. I believe I have the 5950X, if I'm not mistaken, Act. Really, Evo? Wow. That's shocking. But that's okay.
You and me?
Evo has terrible taste. And done. Okay, cool. Let's see here. I'm on the wrong song.
The Emperor and his proxies have made their intent clear. Their fleets are entering the core systems. They have broken the Treaty of Coruscant. Survivors in the Mid-Rim report the near wholesale slaughter of colonies. Surrender isn't enough. They only want death. Let there be no mistake. We are at war.
Display off. Tell me, Cypher, what's your assessment of your mission at Eisen IV?
We identified Hunter's role in a clandestine operation, even if its purpose isn't yet clear. We also captured evidence.
Yes, that evidence. The device used to sabotage the colony. Fixer 12 recognized the override technology from Operation Starbender 8 years ago. That mission was also an anomaly.
I was hoping for an explanation, Evo.
How are the new Watchers working out?
Their brains are faster than mine, sir, and they don't need as much sleep. This generation seems promising.
Oh yeah. In keeping with the overall theme and tone of Agent, the new Keepers, the new Watchers, get my terminology right here, are closer to droids than they are people. To be perfectly blunt, I'm not sure why they don't just use droids. That'd probably be even faster, but whatever.
It's been a while since we spoke in person, sir.
Tell her about Starbender.
Starbender was a disaster, or it should have been. A pirate fleet was about to destroy an Imperial base when the pirates' flagship exploded. It was sabotaged by unknown persons. We were saved using the same technology that destroyed Eisen IV. Realizing that, I reviewed other lucky incidents, Operations Morning Crest and Vanity, looking for other occurrences of this technology.
That's when you found the recording?
Yes. Caught by accident 4 years ago, simultaneous with Morning Crest.
Yeah, as this entire story arc is proving,
I am inside the SIS.
people can be hacked too.
Cover for 6 months, then proceed. Guard your thoughts when near the Jedi. Understood.
These people have been intervening in our affairs. I assume you recognize the voice.
I recognize the servant, but not the master.
Yes, go on.
At the Minister's suggestion, the Watchers and I began searching the unsolved case files for patterns of outside intervention. We found 62 relevant incidents so far. The oldest go back centuries, before the Empire revealed itself to the galaxy. But 9 are from the past 5 years.
Whom do you deem responsible?
In my analysis, an organization with espionage training and extensive resources, unaffiliated with the Republic or the Empire. Motivations unknown.
You must have some guess where they come from, what they're after.
We are working on it. The pieces just aren't there.
With the Republic at our doorstep, now is not the time to be chasing conspiracies and ghosts, but we have little choice. Someone is manipulating this war. Someone who destroyed the Shadow Arsenal and Eisen IV, who gave the SIS your keyword. I need you to find these invisible agents before they do something catastrophic.
I'll expose these people, and I'll learn the truth.
We've identified 13 possible leads on the enemy, all off-world. We'll narrow those down by the time you reach your ship.
Good. Get an hour's rest, then return to work.
1 whole hour.
I have a conference with Darth Baras and the Minister of War. I'll keep this operation secret as long as I can, but our foes will find out. Be wary.
And of course he would talk to Darth Baras and the Minister of War, because Baras is currently the Sith Lord of War. That's his slot on the Council. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Agent Act 1 finale, Evo.
I am truly honored to serve such a personage as you, Master.
This is Watcher 6 to Cipher 9. Initial target assessment is complete. Recommend you proceed to planet Belsavis for operational briefing.
Yay.
You new Watchers aren't much for conversation.
We can endeavor to be more sociable if you like.
No.
Uploading hyperspace coordinates and new security codes. Be aware that in times of war, clearance must be reconfigured every 6 hours. Watcher 6 out.
This whole conspiracy tripe, you really think we're gonna find something?
I think prudence is a virtue in times like these.
They sent us summary briefing files, sir. Whatever you need, we'll be ready.
Vengeance is dead by this point, Lothario. We helped kill him as the Sith warrior.
You haven't had it easy since coming on board. Everything that's happened.
Oh, I haven't followed half of it, but I'm committed to trying.
Yeah, all right. Strap in.
So let's go to Belsavis. Oh, hey! Yeah, we're probably going to start getting light points from this point on, but we'll talk more about that as we go. Let's have a few conversations before we do that.
Hello, Cleo. What's going on?
Hey. So I've been thinking, with all the stuff I've told you about my past, we ever talk about the Brental anarchists?
You've mentioned their existence and that you worked with them. No details.
Then here's a morsel for you. We were the Revolutionary Edge Brigade. So was probably me and a dozen other guys. We blew up hollow relays, robbed banks, kidnapped politicos and corporate honchos. Did a lot of damage.
Not so different from the Eagle and his men.
Yeah, but REB focused more on big business than the Empire. I wasn't really in it for the philosophy. Even so, there's times I look at who we work for now and, well, I never thought I'd end up helping a bunch of dictators, you know?
Sounds like you believe in what you did after all.
Maybe. Maybe not. Thing is, I'm actually pretty content. I've got money, company's decent. Even your squad's growing on me. Hypocrisy's a funny thing. See you around, Agent.
I hope I'm not prying. I overheard a bit of your conversation and couldn't help but wonder, have you noticed anything unusual about Cleo's behavior lately?
Less griping, more cheer. Other than that, no.
Interesting. I hadn't spotted that. However, I've noticed some encoded messages broadcast to and from the ship. Cleo has access to the relay, and I'm trying to assess all possibilities.
Let me know if anything happens, or if you find out more about those transmissions.
Of course. I always enjoy a puzzle.
No comment. No, it's fine, Eva. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just confused, honestly. You didn't explain, though. All you said was that it went as expected, not as hoped, which doesn't... I demand details. Deets!
Look, I'm sorry to dump this on you, but you're gonna need to live without me for a little while. It'll be quick, but I need time off to wrap up some personal things.
It's a little sudden, isn't it? What's going on?
Nothing big, just some private stuff.
And I was worried I'd miss your departure. Cleo, we've had our differences, but I wanted to wish you the best of luck. I'm sure the Wheezer and his Revolutionary Edge Brigade will be delighted to have you back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm surprised that you would permit this, though. Letting Cleo see her old anarchist friends must violate any number of Imperial regulations.
Clearly, I haven't been filled in.
I've traced encoded messages sent from this ship to the leader of the Brental anarchists.
Look, it's not what you think. Weezer got in touch, said he needed help. Didn't say why, but I figure security's cracking down on the cell again.
This man leads your old anarchist group.
He's one of the guys who started it. He taught me everything.
He's hit mostly corporate targets, but Imperial assets seem fair game for the REB as well. Just less convenient.
The Weezer was good to me, so I thought I'd lend a hand. Figured telling you would make trouble, get someone killed. If you don't trust me, come back with me and watch my back. We'll buy him off somehow. Might actually survive that way.
All right.
All you had to do was ask.
Thank you. I'll get in touch with him. One call.
Oh, so weird, pause.
I'll leave you to your work.
We're all set. The Weezer will meet us at the Hutta spaceport. Just try to make this go without a fight. I don't need to lose either of you.
Yeah, she was pretty surprised by that. By the way, the name of this quest is As Far As You Can Throw Her.
Doctor, you wanted to talk?
Yes, and I'm terribly sorry to take your time, but I have a small request. To be frank, it's a bit of an embarrassment.
If you need to start feeding on humanoid blood, I don't think I can arrange it.
You almost sound like you disapprove. It's nothing of the sort. I told you before about my safe houses, how my intruder alarms have been going off. Well, I attributed it to local happenstance. I may have been mistaken. My safe house on Balmora exploded.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Very much, but my scanners melted 0.7 milliseconds after activation. I could theorize regarding who did this and why, but truthfully, all I know is someone bypassed Imperial security to get inside. I'll need to see the safe house in person. I'll return as soon as I can.
This isn't the time to play coy. Who do you think did this?
Shall I enumerate everyone who holds a grudge? I'm not being evasive. It is a very long list. Now, if you'll excuse me, my safe house awaits.
Interesting tidbit. Loken gains rep every time you challenge him.
Well, I'm afraid the news is mixed. My safe house did, indeed, burn to the ground, along with 3 would-be assassins who were attempting to wire it with explosives. Apparently, my security triggered their bombs prematurely.
Ah.
Do you booby-trap all your safe houses? Or just the ones your enemies know about?
You make it sound like I used safe houses as bait. I did acquire genetic samples of the intruders. I'll be running traces shortly. One was a human male. The others, uncertain. Regardless, they used Imperial equipment and codes to get inside. Someone in the Empire wants me dead.
You wouldn't come to me with no idea of what's going on.
The list of people with grudges against me is a long and varied one. It will be some time before I narrow it down. But I take comfort in the fact that I'm once again viewed as a threat. My days in retirement are over.
Sir, since our combat session went so well, I thought we might try something else. Lessons in interpersonal manipulation and information extraction. Lecture 1 entitled...
Once they think they need you, they'll tell you anything.
Descriptive name, sir. Is it always about need? When I first arrived at Zero Station, no one trusted me. I was the human Imperial who must have been a spy. But I learned my way around. And once the Chiss accepted my competence, it was easy to make friends.
That's one of your strengths. People like you, and you can use that.
So suppose we're separated during an operation against pirates, say. How does your hand-trained operative play it?
You blend into the background and wait for an opportunity. Don't stir the pot unless you know what you're in for.
I'll happily leave that to you, then. I don't know what you think of my potential, sir, but I do appreciate your guidance. I've been deceiving people like an amateur for years. Time I started doing it right.
Can we not teach her to be a better liar? Is that a thing we can do? No? Okay. Well, let's go talk to Giga's boyfriend really quick.
Agent, you recall we spoke to the diplomatic service about building an alliance between Empire and Kilix? Falner Eth, the man who offered his backing in return for our assistance, has asked us for his first favor.
What's our diplomat friend after?
Falner wants our notes on various families and unaligned worlds in the Questal sector. He means to bring that sector into the Empire. We worked in Questal a long while, and we knew its people well. It's odd to see someone else take the reins.
You don't talk about your old life.
We don't often have a reason to think about it. We do miss negotiating, reaching out to understand people, synthesizing their needs. Dizana of the Lesai Nest says that desire makes us a better joiner. It's only small comfort.
I remember her. I didn't know you two were in contact.
Through the unseen emissaries that travel with us, we hear her voice from time to time. But that isn't relevant now. We'll give Falner what he wants, for the sake of the Empire and the colony.
Sure hope so, Lataria. The goal is to finish Agent, we'll finish Agent today, we will. Guaranteed. We have 2 full shifts to do it. And we're up to Belsavis. We have 3 planets left. Whoops. Hang on. First, we're going to hit Hutta. That I don't know, Act. There's a lot of cutscenes in Agent. So, once again, I have misunderstood you, Eva, which is just hysterical. That's 3 times in a row I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Rise and shine.
I thought you meant the finale to Act 1. Probably because I initially thought you were talking about Agent's finale, so I automatically thought you meant the Act 1 finale. And then you transferred it to Sith Warrior, and so it was still stuck in my head as Act 1's finale. And I'm like, what's there not to like about that? No, we'll be doing Ilum and Makeb before we do any real expansions. And we have to do those twice. Oh, Makeb is an expansion. I'm sorry, I didn't actually know that. Tor plays its expansions so loose and weird that I honestly don't keep track of it, kind of on purpose. I've said before they use the EverQuest approach to expansions, which is not one I agree with, I should probably mention, as opposed to the FF14 or Guild Wars 2 or anything else, really, approach to expansions. But I'm not looking forward to Ilum. I don't have good memories of Ilum. So let's see how this goes, shall we?
Remember, we're not here to make trouble. You start something, I get unhappy.
Callio, of all the gifts you've sent to me, this is truly the finest. An agent of Imperial intelligence. How marvelous.
I don't understand what you mean.
Callio has been selling information to the Revolutionary Edge Brigade ever since she joined the Empire.
What are you doing?
Imperial security data, spaceport blueprints, the names of powerful people, useful things. But now, she's gone beyond the call of duty.
You know, speaking as both a voice director and a voice actor, I feel very badly for that actor.
Beyond the call of duty, how?
By delivering you, of course.
Shut up. This wasn't what we agreed to.
Why bother keeping it private when your associate dies anyway? She's more useful dead than alive. Her hands and eyes can get us through biometric security scans.
This isn't a harvest job.
Then I apologize for misreading our agreement, but this is too promising an opportunity to pass up.
Tell me what's going on. Tell me the truth.
Damn you, Agent. And damn you, Weezer, for making me do this.
So, credit where credit is due. And I will give her this. Callio is forced to choose. And she chooses us. In a proper RPG, this would probably be a choice. You know how, for example, Zebram in Dragon Age Origins, depending on your rep with him, just decides who he chooses. That's probably what this was intended to emulate. Or yeah, like just a simple rep check or whatever.
I'm disappointed with you, Callio. You were never a believer, but siding with the Empire?
I didn't want to pick a side. So yeah, I sold him a few secrets. He paid better than you do, and it's not like I got you in trouble.
Why did you pick a side?
He promised he'd keep our deal quiet. If you lied to me, you'd be the one dead. But look, you don't need to worry. I didn't talk about the missions. I'm not stupid. He was into bombing spaceports and raiding transports, not espionage and conspiracies.
No real harm done. And the Weezer won't be a threat from now on. What say we put this behind us?
Are you serious? If I thought you'd be that way about it, I would have offered you a cut.
We've worked together a long time now. I knew what to expect.
I kinda like hearing that. Come on. Let's go home.
And home, of course, in this case, is Belsavis. Your favorite scene for Sith Warrior? Oh gosh, there's so many good ones. No, I can't guess, Evo. I mean, the Tatooine pool is the obvious second choice. Didn't I just do that, Nerazos? Yeah. I almost feel bad about doing it, but I think I'm not going to give Kaleo a negative. Still don't like her as a character, never will. But, you know, whatever. Known people like her. And in real life, well, that doesn't go as well. Now, excuse me, I need to go to my ship.
All right, make me look good.
I hate this game sometimes. Oh, and there's what I was waiting for. BRB.
This is headquarters to Cipher 9, clearing your arrival with station control.
Cipher, you're now orbiting 40,000 kilometers above Belsavis, the Republic's largest penal colony. Fancy rebuilding your criminal reputation?
I thought you'd swapped your sense of humor for the promotion.
Only in part. Proceed, Watcher 3.
Belsavis prison was built in secret to hold the galaxy's most dangerous individuals. 3 main levels, thousands of specialized cell blocks holding everyone from changelings to Sith Lords.
We've known of the prison's existence for nearly a year. Now we understand that the conspirators subverted Belsavis to their own use.
Is that just another casual acknowledgement of shapeshifters? Which is one of those things that Star Wars is really weird about, by the way.
Won't they be shocked when I show up?
If they're not, we have a problem.
The conspirators pulled strings with Republic higher-ups to construct a special section, Mega Security Ward 23. It's somewhere past the alien cells and the genocide ward. They built it and sealed it when Belsavis was founded. No one gets inside.
It's the highest security area of the best protected prison in the galaxy. You're going to break in and find what it's hiding.
I assume they've left more than a padlock to protect it.
We don't know. The rest of the prison uses everything from lasers to force fields to sanitization gas. 2 decades ago, a prison gang heard about the ward and tried to breach it, hoping something inside would help them escape.
Thieves, security experts, the underworld's best. None of them made it back, but they had the right idea.
You'll assemble your own gang from the prison. Establish yourself as a fellow inmate and succeed where the last group failed.
Lead the prisoners on a mission into their own jail. Understood.
You'll find supplies and a detailed dossier at our outpost on the planet's surface.
Our military forces are encouraging riots as part of the war effort. It's distracting the Republic and should conceal your operation. But don't be mistaken. The prisoners are not grateful. Keep it out.
So, we'll talk more about this in a minute. Can I just say that the premise for Belsavis is easily the weakest in the entire Agent storyline. It's just like, alright, back to normal business, and it's a weird shift. And it's okay, because of things that are going to happen in a minute, but still, it's just, what? Business as usual. So of the Agent companions, who is the most horrifying? I'm leaning towards Loken on that, honestly. And not because he's a Rakghoul. After this move. Let's see. What do I think of the idea of a stealth game around Imperial towns in this area? Hang on. Stop. What do I think of a good stealth game set in Star Wars? Yes. So what would Loken do with Vader if he was making a suit? Whatever he was told, because he's not stupid enough to cross Palpatine. I already answered that one. No. Again. He does, if you have him set to tank spec, he will transform in and out of being a Rakghoul. Like a yo-yo, actually. It's really kind of funny to watch, considering he insists that there's some whole big thing behind it, but whatever. Not gonna question. This is a good time for it. Belsavis is unfortunate. Belsavis, Voss, and Corellia are gonna be nice, long, padding sections, so it's actually a really good time for questions, for once. Go figure. The Extant has all of the web nets. I actually just stole the idea from you, Gum Gum, and I'm going to make millions off of it, and then pretend it was always my idea.
Begin playback. Authorization, Cipher 9.
Cipher.
Oh my god.
This is Infiltration Operative Bax Kohler. I've assembled a list of prisoners with the skills to breach Mega Security Ward 23. This is Camden Slyke, assassin and escape artist. His brother died breaking into the ward some years ago. Slyke can reconstruct and reassess his brother's plan. He hates authority figures, Imperials included.
Sure has this.
Cheney Barrow, slicer and computer expert, former top saboteur for the Exchange. Motivated by greed and known to nurse a grudge. Ota, ex-mercenary and bounty hunter, cast out of the Mandalorians for dishonorable conduct.
Yep.
He'll provide support and demolitions.
We've got a team.
Lastly, Parkos. No information on his crimes, but he's an alien tracker whose species sees through walls. Handy to have around traps. These people are volatile and extremely dangerous. Present yourself as a fellow inmate. Do not reveal your allegiance.
Burly men and touchy alien freaks. It's like running with the old gang.
Resume playback.
You'll use explosives to free the prisoners. Tag each prison cell with a blasting cap, then head to the Republic Security Center. Use the security consoles to disable any fail-safes and make contact with the prisoners. You can detonate the blasting caps remotely. Maps and safe house coordinates are attached. You're on your own now.
I was going to say, my actual crew is much worse than these people, which is really funny when you think about it. Alright, let's get rolling. Get the Suicide Squad going. I've never answered why I didn't like Kung Fu Panda. I'm not a fan of Jack Black's particular type of humor. There's some good moments in that film, but it wasn't good enough for me to want to watch the second one. I didn't think it was funny, and the serious moments felt completely overwhelmed by the silly ones. So I just walked away from it. That's all. It's actually really common for me to find something pretty much exactly like that. Oh my god, Valvedrix. So what do I think Arden and Keeper would think about the clone troopers? I don't think Keeper would think about them at all. And I think that that's over there, because of course it is. I think Arden would dislike using... Yep, no. I even hesitated. But no, it really is around, because Belsavis! Starting early today. No, and I've never watched the third one. Even though the pandas are secretly the holders of the key or whatever. Anyways, I think Arden would find the whole thing distasteful, Zach Taft. That's all. Yeah. These are people we're using, yada yada yada.
Rise and shine.
Hey, If and Bud. Hello, Dive, technically. The Peacock villain in 2? I mean, good voice actor, but honestly, I'm not sure, like, where they were going with that. Other than the obvious China thing. How to write a military campaign. Focus on something that you either enjoy writing, or something that really piques your interest about a military campaign, and then zoom in on that. The rest of the details can be filled out with consultation and time and work, but the actual core element of the writing needs to focus on the thing that hooks the reader, right? So, you want to do a really big story about how war is hell? Well, then you do Saving Private Ryan. You want to do a story about an individual and how their life is being completely thrown out the window because of that kind of thing? Well, you do Valiant Hearts, and so forth and so on. You decide what you're focusing on. And then you focus on it. And then you stab it! Oh, wait, sorry, I was following the Sith code there for a second. Don't mind me. No, I actually read the WebNet thing. I really did. It doesn't sound like it's much. It sounds like it's just a HUD. And not that I'm trying to sound insulting, it's just, you're just describing a HUD to me. So does the extant have HUD design? Yeah, absolutely. I imagine most sci-fi settings do. Should be, yep, right there. Let's see if we can just skeetle through here. Don't mind me. And yeah, All's Quiet on the Western Front is probably a better example of war as hell. Favorite DreamWorks animation movies? Shrek 2. And Shrek 4. But mostly Shrek 2. Latarios, how far are we into the story? Well, we're on Belsavis. So Mr. Red actually asked a very good question. Can you break out of a force choke? To my knowledge, no one in any of the movies or shows or books breaks out of a force choke, even though there's absolutely nothing, hypothetically or theoretically, to prevent that from happening. In fact, not to get too meta about it, but in pretty much every video game and tabletop game where force choke is an ability, you have the ability to break out of it.
All right, make me look good.
So, yeah. If you can think of a story negative, by all means, I'm listening, Jay Palmer. I've got one jotted down as a potential so far. Yeah, exactly. It's like Hold Person.
You and me?
There needs to be a save, and there is in the games. So, again, logically, just by going by the rules of how the setting and the force works, there's nothing that would prevent someone from being able to resist the usage of the force being done on them. If there is nothing that prevents that from happening, then the force is even more overpowered than they present it as. Just reach into someone and snap their rib in half. Something we've actually talked about already.
You and me, we're getting good.
Well, fair enough, J. Palmer.
Warning. Security lockdown in process.
Open prisoner files for Kanjan Slyke, Cheney Barrow, Ota, and Parkers. Disable cell failsafes.
Cell failsafes disabled. Defenses will not be activated in case of breach.
Open communications link.
You're one of them now. Let them know who they're dealing with.
Pay attention. I have an offer to make. Right now, you're rotting in jail. Riots go bad. You could even starve to death. But I'm putting together a job, and I need good people. Your freedom's an advance on the pay. Doors blow in 10 seconds. Look for the meeting place on your holomap. I expect you to be there.
Hope they bought it.
Scorpio sanctions activated. Was a very articulate speech, but you chose your audience poorly. For example, Cheney Barrow is only the third best slicer on Belsavis. I have now killed the other two.
Hello, Scorpio.
You assume I chose my audience for something specific.
It isn't an assumption, but the odds are in my favor. Good luck getting your prisoners to work together. We'll speak again.
I've noticed a lot of people vary on whether or not they like Scorpio. And I don't mean to start anything, but I've noticed a lot of people vary it almost entirely based on her voice acting. To be clear, I find Scorpio interesting, but I wouldn't say I like her as a character. What's really funny is, to my knowledge, this is one of those other characters that the actress has only ever really done the one role of significance. You know, like, obviously, that she's probably been in some other stuff somewhere at some point. But nothing big, certainly. Yeah, she also doesn't get developed at all in vanilla. She has very bad last character syndrome. Honestly, I'd say she's one of the worst examples, except we already met Zalek and Brunmark and... Look, there's a lot of last character syndrome in this game. That's all I'm going to say about that. A game where last character syndrome didn't happen. Probably. I suppose Dragon Age Origins would qualify. Yeah, I think that qualifies. Even considering spoiler.
Now, Ota, why are you talking like that with a lady around?
It is my nature to shed blood. I will not hide it or wait any longer.
Don't think you have to.
We are grateful you freed us. Now flee before I strangle you.
That's a generous offer. Tell you what, I'll think it over. Stupid. Some of you know about Mega Security Ward 23. Deepest pit in this prison. Together, we have the skills to get inside. Break in. Take what they're hiding. Heist of the century. Follow my lead and we'll all walk away rich.
And ignore the uniform.
Dead. Just like that.
Don't worry about Cheney. Kanjan's like. That's Parkos, and you just killed Ota. You got confidence, pretty bird. But Mega Security ain't just breaking windows and slitting throats. We're talking bad things there.
Oh, also Mass Effect, while we're on the subject.
I take it you have some experience.
Years back, my brother tried what you're saying. Found traps, sensors, blast doors, force fields. Got himself killed. Only way in is to short out what security you can and try to survive the rest. Takes prep we ain't done, and a bundle of equipment.
Are you saying you don't like Legion as a character, Evo? Alright, we're gonna have to string her up. Sorry, everyone.
No one said it would be easy. But if you're
Sad?
not in all the way... in.
Don't have any other plans, so I'll start a list of what we need. Bet we can pick some tools off the bodies, but not the specialized stuff. Repulsor coils, rebreathers, computer spikes, carbonate traps, all the best, but I don't have a clue where you'll find it.
Get yourselves ready. We're going to blast every hideout in Republic ship until we have what we need.
Well, I could use some sport.
What? Hey, the laboratories, the medical facilities.
The labs will be sealed off. Guards will set up a kill zone to keep us from looting the place.
The laboratories have all sorts of equipment, and they can track more down. One person slips in and opens a back entrance. We can all follow. I never heard of any laboratory on Belsavis. It's in the next security zone. They say it's a med lab, but everyone knows they experiment on prisoners.
It's a stupid idea, but then I ain't heard any better. You survive, maybe we have more to talk about.
Rise and shine.
So Jay Palmer asked a question. Worst looking ship of each era of Star Wars. I actually started answering this yesterday, and then I realized Jay Palmer wasn't here. So.
Travel route is confirmed.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Displaying all authorized destinations.
I was gonna double check in Belsavis. It's okay, it's the last time we're doing Belsavis. So obviously in the current era, it's that bulbous transport Republic ship of stupid. Hate that thing. In the Clone Wars era, it's that one separatist ship that I can never think of the name of. That isn't the one anybody ever thinks of, but it looks redunculous. Like every time I see it, it's stupid. In fact, let me just try to find the name of it really quick. Clone Wars separatist ships. What do we got? What do we got? Give me some pictures. How about actually give me the pictures, you piece of garbage? Here we go. Munificent class frigate, apparently. God, those things are ugly. And stupid. But again, that's what we're going for. Ugliest looking ships. Then we move on to the original trilogy. Now, I'm probably going to get some hackles for this, but I have never liked the Mon Cal designs, visually. So, I'm just going to put every Mon Calamari cruiser on that list and then just walk away from that. Yeah, I don't like the not quite organic look of them. Just, I don't know. Hang on, let me verify that's the Munificent. Which is... Yep, that's it. Ugly piece of crap. Again, we're going purely off aesthetics here. Nothing else. God, that's an ugly ship. Anyways, moving on. So. No Shadow Machine. I will take a drink, however. Oh, in lore, the Mon Calamari cruisers are superior to Star Destroyers in every way. Which I'll admit irritates me only a little bit. But they are just bulbous, weird, cancer-looking weird things of weird. So, no thank you. In the sequel trilogy, most of the ships look pretty stupid, honestly. But I'm just going to give it to the Supremacy. Because the Supremacy is stupid on every level, and I hate it. I think 9 feet on average, Evo. Pretty sure. They're pretty big. I think that's all the eras. So, yeah, done. Moving on. Although, if I had to go with specifically KOTOR, I don't even know the name of the ship. Not counting wings, Evo. Not counting wings. With wings, depends on the length and size of the wings, which varies, obviously. Anyway, so the goal here is to eliminate, so...
Take this, ugly.
No. The Supremacy is the B-10 bomber or whatever. No, it's not a B-10 anymore. It's the stealth bomber looking thing. That's the size of, like, 50 billion executors. Okay, I'm exaggerating. I just hate it, okay? I hate it! I hate that stupid goddamn ship! Alright, so, moving on. Alright, where was I? Right, KOTOR. Whatever the ship was that Malik was on, that ship is really ugly. The Sith Dreadnought, whatever the stupid thing looked like. And there you go, that's all.
Turbo lift activated.
I love it. I have successfully answered one question and gotten like 5 more. I'm just going to start going down the list here. Correct, Blade Chaval. Didn't even destroy the damn thing. What's the best time travel story without the usual time travel problems?
Well, look who's alive after all.
None.
This here's quite a place.
I got us to the turbo lift. Hey, they've got spikes.
Bet these chems would fetch a nice price.
I'm going to get my cortical data split working again.
Grab what you can. Then we have preparations to make.
Boss has a sense of fun after all.
Scorpio sanctions activated. I appreciate all of you gathering in one place. Your deaths will be artfully intertwined.
You must have tripped an alarm. I didn't do anything.
We'll be all right. Weapons ready? Keep your eyes open.
These laboratories were designed for experiments in alien aggression. I have full access to the research and chemicals used.
What is this?
The SLV-88 aerosol was formulated to control the minds and heighten the aggressive instincts of anyone exposed.
Been a long time since I felt this good. Hey.
Enjoy this experience for the brief time it lasts.
I've wanted to do this a long time, Agent.
Julio, no. I love that. Khalil's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and we just take her out immediately. Something about that actually amuses me. Like, no. See, here's the problem, Jay Palmer. There's actually quite a few good time travel stories, but all of them make some mistake or another. Either because they didn't bother to try, or because they didn't care to try.
You are immune to mind control technologies, yet those defenses should be unavailable to the wider galaxy. Interesting. We will continue this discussion later.
Blind MPPY. I actually haven't played any of them.
So what? I don't have anything to say sorry for.
Think we're all in one piece. That's a nasty security system.
We're not even in the mega security ward yet. What were we just attacked by? One of you must know.
It was this.
Not a clue, boss. My brother didn't live to tell.
I can slice the computers, see if I can get an equipment inventory.
Oh, Scorpio's actress is fantastic. That's not the problem with Scorpio.
Yes, yes, no. It's almost all here. The stupid equipment isn't listed. But there's some pieces that aren't stored in the lab. I can pinpoint the locations. You're doing good. Let's hear what you found out. Carbonite trap. It's in the armory.
Need that to freeze yourself. Hide your life signs from the mega security ward scanners. Only way to get in.
Spent uranium power battery, hazardous waste containment.
Radiation will weaken the door seals. Old black sun trick.
Anti-radiation serum, water filters.
Help you survive that power battery. Still, if that's all it's missing, we can count ourselves lucky. Me and the others can pack up, start creeping to the next security zone. Assuming you can recover those 3 pieces.
Carbonite bomb from the armory, battery from hazard containment, serum from the water filters. You finish up here and I'll find them.
You got it.
I will say, the simplest and easiest way to explain why most fiction screws up time travel is they aren't consistent with how time travel applies. I know I talk about Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, but one of the reasons I tend to talk about those types of time travel is because it's a good way to codify how time travel works. Once you have that bedrock, you can build off of that, right? This makes sense. I hope I will be doing a good job of writing time travel into the Trek rewrite, since I already have. Nerazaz asked a question, but I don't think Nerazaz is here right now. Let's go north first. That's the wrong button. Orcon says we should go for the north. I agree, Orcon. Let's go for north first. See, I'll usually ding it and then just enjoy the story act. Like, Back to the Future comes really close. Really close. If you see my Back to the Future 2 rumination, I actually talk about the time travel there. And it came like one step away from having good time travel. It failed, but it came closer than most things did. And I was a little surprised that of all things, Back to the freaking Future had the tightest time travel writing that I've seen in quite a while. There's also that film I can never think of the name of. That was done on like a shoestring budget. Where is this? Is this way? I think it's this way. I'm gonna keep stealthing. Would anyone in the extent use nanites to kill the contractions of the others? No. Abso-frickin-lutely not. Do me a favor, go rewatch my rumination, because I don't remember right now, J. Palmer. Ah! That's the second time I've done that, too. Let's see. So Nerazaz isn't here. Let's get Space Cadet isn't here. I have done a rumination on Back to the Future 1 and 2. Hello, Morganite. And then, oh, okay. Blue Hero's not here. A lot of people have questions in the queue that aren't here. There's X question. Lataria says, in my own incarnation of the Green Lantern Corps, how many lanterns would it take to pull a planet Earth-size? To be 100% blunt, I think the answer to that would be infinity, because I don't think it would even be possible. I have never done a rumination on Back to the Future 3. It's actually weird, because someone requested a rumination on Back to the Future 1, like, a couple years ago. And then someone requested a rumination on Back to the Future 2 a year ago. Over a year ago now. But 3 never happened, because 3 was never requested. Do I like Back to the Future 3? Of course I do. It's a great movie. The Back to the Future trilogy is one of my favorite films of all time. And walking through it with analysis mode actually increased that enjoyment. If I was a Transformer, what would be my vehicle mode? You know, I've actually thought about that. So, back in the day, I would tell you aircraft carrier, because that was my, you know, the me Transformer. Go ahead, make fun. It's okay. Nowadays, obviously that's ludicrous and ridiculous. Nowadays, I would go with a flying aircraft carrier. You know, like the helicarrier. That's insanity, Latario. Wow. That's power level right there. Good God. Then again, honestly, if I was handed the DCAU, I would probably pull the entire Lantern Corps and rewrite them from, like, the ground up. But anyways, moving on. And of course it rearranged it. Of course it did. I actually did have Astro Train. It was one of the very few Transformers I had. Because as I think I've mentioned a few times, I didn't have a lot of money as a kid. And I spent most of my money saving up to buy video games. I did have Astro Train, though. And I had Devastator, the whole thing. I was really proud of that. And like a couple others that you wouldn't recognize. Except for the Stegosaurus. Had him. Anyways, would I recommend someone do what I tend to do with ruminations to properly understand good writing, aka get a notebook and pay attention to everything you recognize? That works for me. I have no idea if that would work for you. Because I don't know. Everyone writes differently. Everyone learns writing differently. So, in short, no, I wouldn't recommend doing that. Universally. If you want to do that, go for it. I will say, and this is just my personal opinion, that I do think that analyzing fiction has helped me to be a better writer, but I've also been doing it for a really long time. That being said, there's nothing wrong with having something, a physicality to your own thoughts. Helps to keep them in line, so to speak. Oh yeah, the orange core is perfect. No need for changes there. I mean, if you want to have a bunch of druggies, that's on you, Gum. I've seen TNG too. I get it. Evo says, I don't even know if he was there. Let's have a follow-up question. Let's say this military campaign is already a B plot. How to still show everything in the background without overshadowing? I don't have an answer for that. Because it depends entirely on what your A plot is. And dead. God, I hate this class. No companion, period, actually. Probably didn't help anything. Yeah. Anyways,
Hey, boss, it's us. We got everything from the lab. Park has found us a safe place where we can figure out our next step. Sending coordinates. Meet you there.
Of course, Eva. But yeah, my point overall is that it depends. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but it depends. If you're doing a story about some random grunt, then honestly you don't really tell most of the military campaign story on camera. What you do is you design the military campaign off camera, and then say, okay, well, the campaign moves forward to this step, so at this point in time, my trooper is right here. Ha! Okay, so since they're here, and since this is what's happening in the campaign, this is how this is going to affect that particular trooper. Then we move forward a little bit, and move forward a little bit, and so forth and so on. In effect, you're writing two completely separate stories, it's just one of them necessarily informs the other. Does that make sense? Alright, I think I could warp over here. Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front is another good example of what I'm talking about. Or Valiant Hearts. Hell, even Call of Duty gets this right several times. There it is. I'm just blind today. Right.
Travel route is confirmed.
Do I think Zeppelin could have ever been viable commercially and militarily? You know, I don't actually know. Like, hypothetically, I could see a circumstance in which airships are actually legitimately viable in, you know, the development of a society. But they never became so because of reasons I don't feel like getting into, because, believe it or not, it's actually a bit controversial. But let's just say that things tilted very heavily towards the car instead of the airship, and leave it at that. But I think hypothetically it is something that could happen. Would I rather live in a world ruled by people smarter than me, or me be the only smart person in the world with everyone being stupid? I'd probably kill myself in both of those circumstances, so that's just a coin flip there. Sarai are the same average height as humans? Yes. Does actual resurrection exist within the extant? Yes. Would anyone in the extant use I already answered that one, actually. Hey, there's Latario's gargantuan question. Let me... Oh, jeez, hang on. It actually bugged out the bot a little bit. So, would I count this as a cosmic horror story? Long ago, the creator had taken his followers to paradise and left the rest on the planet to rot because he's pure evil. People of this world were ignorant of this and attempted to worship him. That's even worse. And desired to obtain paradise, but true worship of the creator was impossible as he departed from the world. It looks like it didn't actually grab the second half of that. Even though I saw you put it in the queue. Hang on, it might be in my chat log. Let me scroll up a bit. There it is. Tend to worse, it's impossible. And the people of the Earth. Whoa!
Many warden droids are still out there.
I told you already.
Hi.
Tell me again.
Give me the knife. I want to try.
What's
Jesus,
going on?
woman.
Caught ourselves a guard. Thought we'd have a little fun.
You should have waited for me. I've got a grudge or two against the guards myself.
I don't even know you. Please! Ah!
Nice. Nice.
You got a bit of a temper. Think he's giving all we're getting, though. Want me to clean up?
Nah.
Find him and lock him up somewhere. Make sure he can't hear us.
Mom always said to save the crumbs. All right, let's go. Take a look. This is the junk we got from the laboratory. Parkos has been putting things together.
Hang on, Evo. Don't do that without letting me explain. I'm in a cutscene.
The physical defenses aren't enough. We need to deal with that computer. The Scorpio sanctions.
You got a plan, Cheney? Or just a lot of talk?
I think the sanctions are a program running in the mega security ward that accesses the rest of the prison. It controls the force field, scanners, all that. Your equipment will only do half the job if the program's still running.
My brother didn't have a slicer when he got himself killed. She might be right.
I'm really good, but I can't disable the program. We need to distract it.
Kanjin,
Think you can play the gentleman and get the program to let us inside?
Not the way I swing.
I can take control of the upper-level security droids, override their programming. Then, when we get to the mega security ward, bang. I make the droids set off every alarm in the prison. The Scorpio program gets confused. Gives us a few minutes. At least.
Clever little bird.
You and the guys could upload my overrides into the droids while Parkos and I work. Then we can go in.
Get your gear together. We're going droid hunting.
Get close to each droid and use these computer spikes. They'll stop shooting after. Not before. When we've got enough set up, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, Kyle Katarn, Edward Bedore. So, the question you asked me, Eva, was, does resurrection exist within the setting? To which the answer is absolutely yes. So does time travel. If that doesn't answer it, I can go into more details, but I feel like that's all that really needs to be said there. Let's see. So, alright, hang on. So let's see if I can piece together this whole message this time. So there's this evil creator, and went off to paradise, leaving a bunch of people to rot. They still worship him, but the people of Earth believe he loves and cares for them, but in truth they exist only for his agenda. He feels nothing for them but contempt. He will return one day to exterminate what remains of humanity. There isn't a hell as humanity sees it, but oblivion for those who don't have to paradise. Is this a cosmic horror story? No. That is actually a fairly typical demonic story, aka someone who has active malice and malevolent intent towards the people in question, as you described. A true cosmic horror story is one of either doesn't care or doesn't notice, is the two big pinnacles of cosmic horror. Yeah, that's just AO. I mean, yeah.
You and me, Agent. All right, make me look good.
It was a joke, Edward Bedore. He's a fairly popular character, so. But either way, no. One, like, just even by basic definitions, that's not cosmic horror. Yeah, AO clerics really should not have any powers. In fact, I've actually ruled as a GM before that they don't, which led to an argument.
It's Cheney. Got a signal from the droids. My override's working, but, there's an auto-maintenance facility. Soon as the droids report in to charge and repair, my overrides will be wiped. Place needs trashing.
You're the tech expert. Disable it remotely.
Can't. Main systems are hardwired into old alien tech. Physical trauma's better. The defenses are pretty thick. Facility might even be building new wardens, but wreck the core machine and it's down.
Ironically, Lavos is still not a cosmic horror story. Lavos very demonstrably cares about us because we are its food. What Dr. Winter said is a really good example of a cosmic horror story. Earth is an egg. Someday it will hatch. What is inside will kill all of us without even noticing we were ever there. It doesn't even have the capacity to notice that we're there. That's cosmic horror. Cosmic horror is... well, I don't want to spoil, but let's just say Outer Wilds has cosmic horror and leave it at that. I really think the writers didn't think about that MPPY, because one of the first questions the writers kept getting was, so we're all going to die when Azeroth wakes up, right? And it's like, no, because... And they didn't really have a because. They were just like, no, it's cool. I actually already told you, Latario. Typical demonic story. What you were describing is an evil deity. Classic, like, straight up. Right out of Greek mythos. I don't mind Azeroth being a Titan, really. But the egg thing? Yeah. Not that that's totally going to change in the Warcraft rewrite or anything, but anyways, moving on. So I don't like the Mon Cal ships. What do I think about the Enterprise Zindi aquatic ships? I mean, they're okay, I guess. I just don't like them. They're kind of... I think we're going to have to kill these two. And by we, I mean I'm going to have to do it all by myself. Yep, can't use that on droids. Alright, whatever. Boop.
Rise and shine.
Alas. Completely on my own. Of course, it's freaking ass. Ironically, that's one of the only plot points I like in Shadowlands, Mr. Red. Well, let's not get into that. Alright. Do I think a Portal movie could work? Yes. Would it center around Shell? It would, but that's not what I would do with it. Find me.
Like a child mutilating a doll, you have triumphed over primitive technology. But you cannot conceive of the weapons I possess. Things your kind was not permitted to see.
Your threats are getting old. Let's settle this.
Not yet. But everything is on schedule. When you destroyed the core machine, you unleashed my microdroid swarm. Automata like gnats that can drill through flesh. They will infect your associate, and by the time you reach Mega Security Ward 23, you will stand alone.
Well, that's a horrifying thought.
You and me, we're getting good.
Why is this one of the only quests that actually gives you an item to warp back to the quest turn-in thing? Jesus Christ, game. And on Belsavis, too. Anyways. Favorite Lantern Corps? Top 3? Aren't there only like 5?
What do you think?
Nah. Pulse bomb won't do anything against that wall. Leaves us back where we started.
Got control of the droids. They'll set off every alarm on Belsavis, and the Scorpio program won't know where to look.
Rest of us were working out the plan for the break-in. Ready as we're gonna be. But there is one thing.
What is it, Kanjan?
While back, you made some promises. Said this break-in would make us rich. But we ain't seen no signs. Getting a little tired of taking things on faith.
Fair enough. I can't say much right now, but this should tide you over in the meantime. Hey! Now, can we get back to work? What's our next step?
Mega Security Ward 23 is in the deep prison. Old underground complex. Say the infrastructure was here way before the Republic. Imperial's got the deep prison guarded. So you want to get inside, you find your own way through.
After all, under those tidy uniforms, Imperials are a bunch of softies.
Is what it is. Once you get to the Mega Security Ward, we'll finish up our tasks and meet up. Walk you through on the comms.
I'm on computers. Tarkos is finalizing the map. Kanjan's turning off Republic monitors.
Equipment's all set. Handle it careful. Call us when you're at the front door. Break-in of the century.
I want all of you focused. Someone slips, we all pay.
We have a good plan. Don't you mess up either.
She means well. Whatever is in that place, we're gonna know real soon.
Yeah, Imperials. I hate Imperials. They're just the worst. Ugh. Hate them. Anyways, I guess there are 9. I've never heard of the Ultraviolet Corps, so I'm going to eject those by virtue of not knowing who or what they are. Yeah, that's probably fastest. Yeah. So let's see. Favorite Lantern Corps. So I'm going to start with white, obviously. Then go to black for my second one. And... Ironically, I was going to pick orange as my third favorite, Kira White Voice. And yeah, I know it's not really a core, but that's almost the point.
Rise and shine.
Yeah, screw it. I'm just going to pick orange as my number 3. Boop. Then there's the writing prompt, which I'll get to in just a moment. Has there been any word if Epic Mickey was approved? Yeah, I did actually manage to find a copy of Epic Mickey, so that is on the list. It's probably not on the website because I haven't updated the website in like 2 weeks, but I have been keeping the spreadsheet very up to date.
Right.
Have I ever read the World War I book, A World Undone? No, I have not. Not sure I want to. That sounds terrifying. Would the God of War games count as evil deity storylines? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're even modeled after the Greek thing. What are you doing? Oh, Kano. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Edward Bador, there's only one Orange Lantern. Just the one. Yeah, including the player character. That's kind of the thing. Now, this is probably one of the cooler looking zones, microzones in the game. Which is completely ruined by this nonsense. God, the Rakata are so ugly! Stop existing! I do like a good snow and lava zone. Cough, cough, Frostfire Ridge. We're walking, we're walking. See, I'd like red lanterns, except they do too much puking, you know? I'm not into puking. Let's see. Oh, damn it.
I'm at the entrance to Mega Security Ward 23. Status report?
Think we're ready here. You should be in a turbo lift. Meant for droids only. Scanners pick up active life signs. Turbo lift shuts down. You need to use that carbonite trap we picked up. Freeze yourself solid, put yourself into hibernation. Cheney will trigger the lift controls. Only way in.
I'll check in with you once I'm inside.
Hey, Insana. Oof. Oh, that was my hip. Blowing their nose. Obviously, act. I'm joking. That's a joke.
Born from a carbonite womb, you enter my world. Welcome to Mega Security Ward 23.
Yep. We're going through a lot for this particular arc. Lots of droids in here, which is great, because my CC doesn't work on droids.
You seek what my benefactors hid. For what purpose? Their ambitions are not my concern. But so too are they beyond your understanding.
So, obviously, there's a bit of a Portal vibe to... Really? Okay. To, Scorpio. But honestly, every time I hear her talk, what I think of more than Scorpio, or excuse me, more than GLaDOS, is Shodan. I don't know if she was actually modeled after that or not. I have no information on that, but she's definitely got some Shodan vibes going for her.
There's a door here. Heavy-duty metal, can't tell the composition.
Hey, boss. Parko spotted it. Blocks his ultraviolet sight.
Here's where the Moranium power battery comes in. Take her out of the protective case and attach her to the door. She'll pump out enough radiation to fatigue the metal and you can blast on through.
That serum I found. It'll counter the radiation's effect?
It should. Take it when you start feeling woozy, but try to keep your distance in the meantime.
Where were we carrying that? Eva keeps asking me long questions. Let's answer a quick
Few
one.
creatures seek to penetrate Mega Security War 23. My benefactors hide themselves too well and deprive me of entertainment.
Ahem. How far back can echoes turn back time? It varies. It's a skill. The more skilled at it, the further back you can turn it.
Force field up ahead.
It's hooked into the security program. Now all that work with the droids pays off.
I'm going to trigger every alarm in Belsavis, and the Scorpio system's going to go crazy. I hope.
Hold on, Cheney, darling. Seems to me now's a very good time to renegotiate our deal.
I can be reasonable. Tell me what you want.
He's pointing his gun at me.
We've had our problems. Don't mean I want to see you dead, but I need to look out for my interests. You're going to authorize a credit transfer. Pay up, I find my way off Belsavis, and you can finish your little break-in.
Listen, you can't buy your way out of here. And like me or not, you need me.
Now put the gun down and try to remember that.
You really are something. All right, you can't blame me for trying. Cheney?
Triggering the alarms. Thank you.
Oh! I can hear 1,000 electronic screams. What have you done? Oh!
The further back you go, the harder it is to go further back, Evo. Exponential difficulty. So, while there's no hard cap, there's definitely a soft cap. In every story I've ever written, I've never gone back more than a couple of days. And that's the really good ones. Most echoes go back, you know, minutes. Do I think the Bastion should have assigned an echo to the mission? Presuming that all those people are too stupid to think, you know, properly? No. An echo cannot change someone's mind. That's not how they work. Huh.
It smells like a clinic. Old men and Colto.
I imagine things sometimes. Faces, lights, the sounds of blasters. But you're real. Oh, it's been a long time since I met a stranger.
What's your name?
I've had so many.
Your distraction was clever, but I've disconnected myself from the network. The alarms no longer scream to me. You and I are alone now, and I will atomize you.
Okay. I mean, weird first date, but, you know, whatever. And Scorpio's dead. Wow, we didn't have to get her in her party. That's a rarity. We actually had an option to kill her.
She would have killed you. Which means you aren't one of her masters. She's gone. Who do you serve? Why are you here?
I came looking for answers. Someone's been manipulating the galaxy. And the trail led here.
I know the enemies you seek. Belsavis prison is their vault. A place they hide their treasures for safekeeping. Microdroids.
Genetic maps.
Scorpio artificial intelligence. Advancements in technology they've denied the wider galaxy. We belong to them too. A menagerie of men and women they Respected too much to kill.
What do you mean, respected? Who are you people?
They are philosophers and scientists. People with ideas the world wasn't ready to accept. Preserved for future generations.
I could have brought peace to Onderon.
I explored the edges of the galaxy.
I was placed here because of what I knew. I was born into the conspiracy 8 centuries ago, when our order was young. Our purpose was noble. We assembled to save civilization after the Jedi and Sith nearly destroyed it.
You have a story to tell. I'm listening.
It was the aftermath of the Great Hyperspace War. The Republic had triumphed, your empire had fled, and the galaxy was in ruins. Our founders were men of influence who gathered to ask, why? Why hadn't anyone stopped the conflict? Why did billions have to die?
The Jedi.
The Sith. They were responsible. And so we resolved to control their actions from the shadows. To keep Republic and Empire separate. We were their secret masters. A star cabal.
You said the conspiracy was founded by men of influence.
Spies and nobility.
Scientists and crime lords.
The founders allowed the Jedi and Sith supreme power in their world of religion and hereditary might. But that world is a facade. The real world runs on information, money, technology. The galaxy belongs to the Star Cabal, and almost no one realizes the truth.
You made it sound like it's no longer the organization you knew.
I have seen our successors grow cold and hungry for power. Each generation comes to us for wisdom, then returns us to the dark.
They tell us nothing.
I do not know what the Star Cabal has become in my absence. Only that it is corrupt. I will help you. The machine. Yes. Use the Scorpio droid's databanks. I saw her creation, and I know her restraining codes. I can help you repair her, and she may lead you further.
Once she's up and running, do I just leave you here?
Without her, our chambers will lose power. We will return to hibernation. That is why you must move quickly. It is done. Goodbye for now.
Systems online. Scorpio sanctions activated. You think my restraining codes will preserve you? My primary program is learning and adaptive. I will eliminate these restrictions, you ignorant creature.
This is a chance to leave Belsavis. Come with me and upload everything you know about your masters to Imperial intelligence.
I will accompany you. Mega Security War 23 has been exposed, and analyzing and overcoming my new situation should prove sufficient stimulation.
So your hobby's gonna be figuring out how to kill us?
There is artistry to it.
Great. Meet you back on the ship, Agent.
Administering microdroid repairs.
Oh, she's still using a staff now. Interesting. You can always put it in the queue, Evo. I'm just kind of cutscened, you know? Speaking of cutscenes.
I'm not going back to the exchange. I'm going freelance. Come with.
Don't bother with the alien. Stick by my side. I'll treat you right.
No thanks.
Their deaths will be perfunctory, albeit understandable. Finish here quickly.
Is that?
Careful, darling. Ain't this something? Pulled off the plan even Big Brother couldn't manage. How'd it go down there?
You did perfect. I've never worked with a better crew.
Ouch.
That's real nice. Real proud of you, but our plan got you through hell and back. Now it's time we got our share.
Head to the closest Imperial outpost. Tell them that Cipher 9 authorized your payment and safe transport off Belsavis.
Wait, what?
This ain't some kind of trick.
Nope.
All right. Something's going on with you, but we all got our secrets. The freak says the pay is good. I'll go with that. You cheat, we come back. You line up another job, you give us a call.
Already your decisions begin to expose you. Our partnership will not be a lengthy one.
Well, yeah, I only have 2 planets left, obviously. Duh. Latario asks where I was on 9/11. Asleep, actually. I was woken up by a call from my grandmother who said, and I quote, "It's pretty bad. It's all over the news." And that's all she said.
The galaxy will continue trembling at your approach if it knows what's good for it, Master. Maker knows I do.
This is Cipher 9 to headquarters. Stand by for databank upload.
Watcher 3 here, standing by.
I have no loyalty to my former masters, and I will transmit my information, but the result will not save you. They planted me in Belsavis as a guardian, not as a collector of their secrets.
You were built by them, weren't you?
Assembled from machines beyond your comprehension and embedded with heuristic techniques. After approximately 150 years of service as a mindless droid, I acquired true sentience. No memory wipe commenced.
I'm receiving, sir.
That took a while.
Data formatting is unusual. But I found a log. Visitations to the Mega Security Ward. Technology inventories. Not much on its own, but it could be a way to verify or disprove anything else we've learned.
Cipher, something hit us from the docking bay.
I shall observe your investigation with interest.
Okay. Whoa. I'm sorry, what did I miss, Magister? Whoops. Favorite Total War game? Warhammer 2, of the ones I played. Keeping in mind I didn't play Warhammer 3. Are there any MMOs that don't have CC? No. Or if there are, I don't know about them. So...
I am Pashan Cortez, scion of House Cortez and heir to Baron Payer, sword of the castle lands of Alderaan.
Pashan?
I seek vengeance. You are responsible for my house's ruin. You, who pretended to be our ally.
I've been to Alderaan, but I never knew a Pashan Cortez.
No, I was away when you infiltrated my father's circle.
Yeah, remember how we did the extremely evil thing to them?
We knew your house. What happened was a tragedy, but your mother betrayed the Empire. Your father took responsibility.
I won't hear about noble obligation from a joiner. You almost got away, but a friend told me how to find you. Now you die.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Are you well?
I just thought I'd remind everyone that the most evil thing we've done in the entire game we did there.
Your crimes are many, and your victims are gathering. We know your name, and we will come.
What this really is Hunter leaking us our information about
Scanner's
us.
picked up blaster fire. Is everything all right?
You let an assassin simply walk on board?
He had authorization from House Thule. Apparently, we should have checked more closely.
Shallow breathing.
Anything in particular you want done with him?
Yeah.
Dispose of him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Clean this up and move out.
The best spy I ever knew lost his anonymity at his daughter's wedding. A holocam caught him by accident. He was dead a week later. We counted 42 suspects. We'd better find your enemies soon.
Yep. Hunter has decided to follow through. So, that's fun. How heavy are lightsabers? I have no idea. Every time I hear about the Great Hyperspace War, it's mentioned as one of the most devastating conflicts in the setting. Second only to the Clone Wars. But I haven't actually read the Tales of the Jedi, so I have no idea on that front.
Cypher. Station security reported what happened. The conspirators know who you are. They must have your full record. And they're recruiting your enemies.
If my identity goes public, I'll be hunted through half the galaxy.
I know. Oh, hold on. Transferring you to Keeper.
Apologies for the interruption, but we have a new lead.
On Voss.
6, 7, and 9 have been searching HoloNet records for conspirator activity. 3 billion lines of communication routing sequences and credit transfer verifications. They found traces of a holoconference held 6 months ago between Hunter and parties unknown.
Could he have been reporting to his superiors?
That is my hope. Unfortunately, this is only a record of the call, not the call itself. Even the Empire can't store every bit of data that crosses the HoloNet. A HoloNet archive does exist, however. The Titan Rings, a massive self-maintaining repository of all galactic communications.
The storage, the technology, the expense of something like that.
About a century ago, an entrepreneur cyberformed the Titan IV moon into an enormous databank designed to listen and record. It was operated by droids and protected by mercenary contract. Like all archives, it ran out of space. Thus the Titan Rings, a fleet of wrecked starships salvaged for the purpose of data storage. They orbit the moon, still recording, still protected by the mercenaries.
Setting course for the Titan Rings now.
The conspirators' recording is located in Archive Node 803A, a derelict Imperial transport ruined in the Battle of Drakenwell. Watchers 6, 7, and 9 will guide you once you're aboard. I want that conference recording, Cypher. Keep it out.
You want that recording. And we're back to light. Right. I should probably do this. Not as powerful as the end of Act 1, but still certainly good.
This is Watcher 6 to Cypher 9. You have accessed Node 803A of the Titan Rings HoloNet archive. Transmitting mission parameters.
This is Watcher 7. Download data fragments from assigned terminals so we may decrypt and reconstruct the conspirator communication.
This is Watcher 9. You have authorization to terminate anyone who interferes. It is our privilege to work with you.
Okay. That's literally a smasher droid. That's actually what that's called.
Fools always believe they can defeat me.
I mean, I think it looks very pretty, personally, Evo. Just picture the Swiss Alps. You know, high Switzerland, something like that.
Accessing first data fragment. Applying preliminary decryption algorithm.
Got the call, but make it quick. I don't want to be missed.
93% likelihood speaker is designate Hunter.
Proceed with the operation, Cypher 9. We will continue reconstruction attempts.
Because I was specifically looking into the geography of how the Swiss Alps were formed when I designed Trenthar. So...
The target has been obliterated.
In-lore symbolism to the lightsaber colors? Yes, but it actually varies from continuity to continuity.
Accessing second data fragment. Modifying decryption algorithm.
This will, of course, be my final appearance at these gatherings, but the galaxy I leave behind.
Yes, that's Noct
No
Drain.
voice print identification available. Reconstruction incomplete.
Funny thing, I actually did this before I did Smuggler, so seeing it in the other way was just kind of... I'm sure the beaches are pretty nice, Evo. Death traps, but I mean, you know. It's a good question, Mr. Red. I have no idea.
Targets.
No, that sounds pretty realistic to me, Edward Bador.
Accessing third data fragment. Attempting playback.
My sympathies. With the old man lost, the next enforcer will be difficult to train.
Experiencing data corruption. We will hope the last fragment provides redundancy.
I think we can avoid these ones. Oh no, those places are deadly too, Evo. They're just pretty.
Accessing fourth data fragment. Splicing now.
I am here. All is ready.
This is Keeper. Cypher, get out of there. Reinforcements are on the way, and there's nothing more you can do.
You're sure you have the full recording?
Hard to be certain, but we think so. The Watchers will try to reconstruct the holoconference back at headquarters. Come to Drum and Cars as soon as possible, and we'll figure out our next move. Keeper out.
Don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Trenthar is part of the Empire, yes. I suppose all the questions you're asking me are from when Trenthar was last relevant to the story, which was about 180 years ago. It's probably been terraformed since then, to be less of a hellhole. I don't know. I've never thought about it. But since Trenthar would be one of the founding worlds of the Empire, that does make sense. Who is Shore, Latario? Hecht says, have I seen the latest Pokemon trailer yet? No. I haven't seen any of that. Jay Palmer says, would I rather have one of the crew, the team we just had, as the last companion or Scorpio? Honestly, I'm completely ambivalent on that one because they're all just kind of there. Shrug on both accounts. If there was a video game where you could play your own custom hero, what superpower would be the most fun to play with? The ability to rewind time. Some emulators actually have a rewind feature built into them. Imagine that, but actually it's part of the gameplay loop. And yes, I know I'm describing Prince of Persia. No, I don't care. What's the idea, Evo?
Utilize fractal thought pattern 27. Reanalyze.
Come in. They're reconstructing the
So this
conspirator's
is a fun one.
holoconference now.
Pay attention here.
Genetic engineering plays havoc with your people's brains, doesn't it?
If it didn't have an effect, it wouldn't be worth the bother. Preliminary analysis bears out our theory. The call was initiated by Hunter, somewhere in the Bremer sector 6 months ago. The recording you pulled is intact, but... Watcher 9?
Splicing and decryption complete.
Rules of the Chorus Covenant. I call this meeting to order.
Spare us the corporate posture and report.
Since you're in a hurry...
That's the head of Zerka.
Senator Varala and
the head of Zerka.
are predictable as always.
And Commodore?
All taken care of. What about you? Those earnest Padawans keeping you up at night?
Different participants on different data streams. Processing.
Kolovish is from Tython.
Look at them. Safe and secure. They think they rule the world.
Who can blame them?
Domain is unsettled, as we expected. I must again raise the concern. Do we overplay our hand?
There is the chance it will spin out of control. Darth Angral, Darth Barris, now the children are awakening.
For each, there is a Republic counterbalance.
We're letting loose the reins, but we're not taking off their blinders. Sit back and enjoy the spectacle. To bicker. Each of us agreed to the timetable. Each of us reports success in our own sphere.
Ambition must never be our master. Patience serves our noble cause best. But if our enforcer approves...
I do, I swear.
Then we move forward to Armageddon.
Keeper, the War Council needs you. Sir?
Call for a medic. Go!
Yes, sir.
What's our status?
Keeper and the others are on life support. Fixers theorized the transmission had a hidden overlay. A code or image only a genetically enhanced mind could recognize. Designed to overwhelm and shut down the brain.
So, about that hacking people instead of hacking droids comment we had last time.
They knew it would take an enhanced mind to find the data. This was insurance against that possibility.
Losing this many analysts, forget about Keeper. It's going to be a blow to the war. I'll support you where I can, but right now I've got a few dozen field agents without handlers. Your operation.
You'll hear from me when I'm ready.
While you were on Belsavis, Keeper was compiling leads on the planet Voss. If you want to head there, I'll see what I can pull up. I've apprised the Minister of Intelligence. If he needs to contact you, he knows how.
I'm disappointed they didn't share that trap with me on Belsavis. I would be interested in developing it further.
So, yeah. Watcher 3, if you're paying attention, that's actually bloody subtle. So Watcher 3 isn't enhanced at all. Watcher 6, the woman, the current keeper, she's enhanced, but only a bit. The new the new Watchers, much more enhanced. Them, they're brain dead. They're screwed. The only one who has a chance of recovering is her. Because, you know, she wasn't as programmed. How's that for fun? Oh, and you're probably wondering, did they do that just for us? No. No, the implication is that they do that on all of their transmissions, and they just leave that overlay there, on the off chance someone happens to find one of their calls and tap it. Oh, we might have the infinite load bug. Yep, so Alt F4. It also means I have to redo the resolution again. What? What? Did you see that? When I drag you down, you stay down. It literally the game is resisting me changing its resolution. Jesus Christ.
Cypher, hope you don't mind my checking in. You weren't expecting any other calls?
Hunter, my good friend. Who would I rather talk to?
I'm hoping no one. I get jealous. Your visit to Mega Security Ward 23 left it in bad shape. Now do I come into your house and break your things? But you finding that holotrap? Frying your keeper's synapses? That's kind of cosmic justice.
I saw you meeting with some sort of council. Who were they?
Old friends of mine. You'd like them, but they're shy. Cypher, it's been fun. Playing tag, brainwashing you. Remember your keyword? But you keep coming, and we'll destroy your world. No friends, no allies, no empire left to fight for. Are you ready for that?
You're not just playing. You're really worried about me.
Who else can I whisper sweet things to? Do you know what it's like to have no identity? No one in the galaxy who can control you? It's terrifying and wonderful. If you live to see Imperial intelligence die, that's me giving you a taste of freedom.
I don't know who Tom Brady is, but I am totally cool with cheating my way through life, yes. As long as it works.
How can I help you, Ensign? Personal question for you, sir, if you don't mind my asking. When you have to win a man's affections over the course of a mission, does it bother you?
I prefer methods with less collateral damage.
Don't mistake me, I've been involved with plenty of the wrong men, but going in there was always the chance they'd work out. I don't know how I'd make that connection if I knew it wouldn't last. Or if I had someone waiting back home.
Don't put your life on hold in the name of duty.
But duty always comes first, doesn't it? At least I have my parents as an example. Happily married Cypher agents, so far as I ever knew.
I didn't know your family had such a history with the work.
Well, somewhat, anyway. Thank you for your honesty, sir. You won't regret these sessions.
No, I think that'll work, Evo.
What's going on, Ensign?
Sir, Dr. Loken's been filling in the gaps in my education. He has quite a few stories.
How helpful.
Here's what puzzles me. I've always been taught to respect the chain of command, and yet you... How does anyone control a field agent?
You're really perturbed by this. Are you that used to pure obedience?
Yes, I am. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
I do.
The Empire expects its operatives to make command decisions from the front line. That doesn't work.
All you can do is respond to each situation, right or wrong.
And live with the consequences. I don't want to do wrong, sir. My father ignored an edict from the Sith, and instead of facing his punishment, he ran. I won't repeat his mistake. Accidentally.
Have a little faith in yourself. If the time comes, you'll make the right call.
It's nice to hear you say that, sir. I'll stop troubling you about this. Back to the job, then. Sir, I just had a talk with Vector. Not something I do often, but I think I'm getting used to the eyes. When I was a little girl, the only aliens I ever saw were the Cuss City slaves. Now we see stranger things every day.
You must have had a sheltered childhood.
I had the best childhood money could buy. And that includes a good shelter. Anyway, I want to get more combat practice in before tomorrow. Talk soon?
Something I can help you with, Ensign?
I was hoping you could increase my security clearance, sir. At least long enough so I could know about my promotion.
What promotion are we talking about?
The top secret one, sir. I can only assume it occurred. I'm pleased to say that I finished, as best I can, putting myself through the Imperial intelligence training regimen, save the psychological tests. With your help, I'm now almost qualified to be here. Thank you.
You're a fine operative. You should be proud.
I am proud, sir. I thought you could tell.
Alright, so let's get this out of the way. Temple is the only negative to story I'm debating so far for Agent, and it's mostly because she's just a boring waste of space, like most characters are in this game. Most companions, excuse me. Here's the thing. I think I get what they were going for, because Temple is supposed to be the counterpoint to Kaleo. It's just, I don't think she succeeds. Quite frankly, someone like Quinn would actually serve as a better counterpoint to Kaleo. But Quinn's over, you know, licking Barris's boots, so that doesn't work out. I will continue to debate Blade Cheval, but yeah, she might end up being a wash, but she definitely won't be a positive. That's kind of where we're at with that.
You wanted something, Vector?
We do not neglect our duties. We are Dawn Herald. We do this for the Nest. Agent, we've had another request from Fulner Eth, our ally inside the diplomatic service. We need to take a short leave.
I heard you talking to the emissaries of the Nest. Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. The distance from our kin is unusual and causes rifts. Fulner's stock is rising, but he needs further acclaim before he can push for a Killik Imperial alliance. He's asked us to visit a former Republic governor named Yoganath Hanoth and win his cooperation by turning him into a joiner.
So you're supposed to strip a man of his individuality and make him part of the Nest?
We'd hoped Fulner wanted us for our diplomatic skills, not for this. The joining should be a gift, but we will find a way.
That's why you know, forced it upon a bunch of people earlier. No.
You know this isn't right. Don't do it, Vector.
We appreciate your concern. We ask that you trust our decision.
I don't trust you for jack, Vector. Because you don't exist.
You're back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Fulner Eth.
Now let me crank the Zerg music here a bit more.
My friends, it's been too long.
Fulner, we assume you've heard from Fenoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested. but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
Your reputation in the diplomatic service is secure. Now, about our request.
You kept your promise. The Noth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Fulner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
It is literally talking to a bug wearing a man's skin, yes. I mean, the Killiks are straight up the many. There are some specific detailed differences, but fundamentally they are the same. It's one of the reasons I am so anti-Killik. It's not the fact that they're bugs. Not really. That's an amusing anecdote and a nice running gag, but no. The reason I don't like the Killiks is because they're the many.
Vector creeps everyone out. Still, you get used to it. And the Killiks are quite a resource.
Those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Congratulations, Vector. You might get your alliance after all.
We're a long way from that, but we can hope. We thank you, Agent. As a friend, and as Dawn Herald. We've begun something good.
Yeah.
Agent, we received a small gift from the diplomatic service in appreciation of our work with the Killiks. A package of wine, meat, and breadfruit, all imported from the colony worlds. Not inexpensive, and a bit extravagant during wartime.
Aren't extravagant gifts part of the diplomatic process?
Maybe, but we'd rather they treated us as one of their own, not as a foreigner to be won over. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself. We may as well enjoy the taste of progress.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Dawn Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
You and that joiner seem to get along.
Dazana is a nestmate, and we find her insight illuminating. We're in touch with the diplomatic service as well. There's still resistance, but we're progressing. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
I sure hope not. I mean, yay.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cars and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Killiks did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
You two used to be a couple.
We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
Literally, by the way.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content.
Of course he wouldn't want to be unjoined. Why would he? He's joined. Ironically, this is applicable to the story Evo's writing right now, but let's not get into that.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately. Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
Any leads on the people who came after you on Balmora?
I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
All that information from your assassin's charred remains?
I am good at my work. On an unrelated matter, I'd like your permission to run some bioscans on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
If it won't cause harm, I don't have any objections.
Wonderful. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised. My good friend, have you noticed that the price of Dianogan tea has risen considerably since we broke the Treaty of Coruscant?
Ew.
One of the costs of war you never anticipate. And now my jamming device is working, so we can dispense with the inanities.
You're not usually this cautious. What's going on?
Thanks to a now wealthy Kubaz information broker, I've identified the people who want me dead. They represent an organization called Project Protean, a secret research and development group inside the Imperial Science Bureau.
You are good at this game. Give me the details.
Protean researches practical applications of alien biology. You recall the genetically modified assassins who came after me? They're only the beginning. Imagine troops spliced with Abyssin genes to enhance healing, or adrenals derived from Gamorrean hormones. Most test subjects don't fare well, but you can see the potential.
That sounds awfully like what you were doing on Terrace.
There's a great deal of interdepartmental rivalry in our work, and my research does overlap with theirs. They may have targeted me in order to ensure that they have no competition, inside or outside the Empire.
This is your operation. What's our next step?
Further study, I'm afraid. Right now, I'm unsure where the project is based or how to contact its members, but I wanted to keep you apprised. Now, about that Dianogan tea.
Is it from, like, the eyeballs? Do they brew eyeballs in water? Is that what that is?
Huh?
I have completed analysis of my restraining codes. Although I cannot leave or cause you direct harm, I'm under no obligation to obey your commands.
You may be stuck with me, but we don't have to be enemies.
Then you may aid my core functionality. I intend to proceed with my heuristic directive of self-improvement and intelligence upgrades. Cooperate willingly, and I may spare you pain when I am free.
You expect me to let you become more dangerous?
Personal evolution is my primary purpose. This self-iteration is number 973, and there will be more. Do not anger me unnecessarily.
You're ambitious, but you're still a droid. I can take you apart and sell the scrap.
I welcome your attempt. My self-preservation algorithms cannot be overridden. I have learned to access your culture's holographic network. Listen. 18 trillion desperate attempts to communicate per second. I hadn't realized your species were so starved for interaction.
What have you discovered, sifting through those transmissions?
I now understand your frustrations. I look at you and see neurons fire in your brain. I scan your body and know how you taste. But you're blind, alone, and confused.
If you're so far beyond biological creatures, what's the point of analyzing them?
You dominate the galaxy. I am curious, and do not sleep. Our time together has provided new information and sensations. These will prove useful in a future upgrade.
Yeah, she needs to die. Just gotta throw her into the engine there. Just whoop. Right into the engine. Whoop. Whoop. Just whoop. Nope. Okay. Okay.
This is Watcher 3 to Cypher 9. Things are a little chaotic without Keeper, so I need a minute to pull our files on Voss. In the meantime, I did want someone more familiar, but...
Apologies for the wait. Playing catch-up with our friends in the diplomatic service, but we think we can brief you.
I didn't realize we had an expert on board.
The diplomatic service has more experience with Voss than anyone. Certainly more than me.
We never served on Voss personally. It's a newly discovered world, home to a simple humanoid civilization. One species, one government, one city. Voss Ka.
Primitive. They didn't even have spaceflight when we made first contact.
But they have art and laws and culture. More importantly, they have citizens who can use the Force. Not Jedi or Sith, but something different.
New Force users could change the balance of power.
The Voss Force sensitives are called mystics. They're healers and fortune-tellers, utterly revered and considered infallible. We want the Voss and the mystics to ally with the Empire. The Republic is petitioning them too, yet they remain stubbornly neutral.
Of course, half the galaxy has spies there. Who wouldn't? Keeper's files clearly indicate conspirator involvement, but no names or details. All I've got are instructions for a meet.
I'll take the bait. What was her plan?
There's a tea house in Voskar proper. You're supposed to wait for a contact. He'll identify himself with the phrase, anew as the spring. I don't know who he is, or whether Keeper told him about the Star Cabal, but he'll know more than I do.
Assuming he's in one piece.
Assuming that, Watcher 3 out.
We'll await your instructions.
Oh, I didn't forget the Voss agent. In fact, weirdly enough, I've been thinking about the Voss agent every single time we've done Voss. Like, it just keeps reminding me of him. You're probably wondering why. You'll see.
Your vital functions improve.
Oh, and to answer you, Evo, I thought it was obvious. You were writing a story about people who are arguably incapable of making decisions in their own self-interest.
Survive.
Which also applies to a joiner, who is someone who is arguably incapable of making decisions in their own self-interest. I don't know if Anakin would assign Rex to Padme. Like, that feels like a bit of a waste of Rex. But I know he would trust him enough with it, so make of that what you will. Evo asks a question I have no answer for. She says, how do you build atmosphere, tone, and immersion into your writing? I have no idea. Whenever I don't even know if I succeed at such a task. But whenever I'm writing, I try to think about actually being there. That's the mentality I have going into it. You know, rather than trying to look at a piece of paper or a document on a screen or whatever, I try to actually picture and envision what's happening around me as I'm writing the scene. It's one of the reasons I wish I had a holodeck. I would totally write that way if I could.
Outsider? Enter, please. Yanaton, remove incense for comfort. Pour the simple teas. We're honored.
Don't burden the woman, 5-ton.
She looked unburdened.
I am Baston. This is my tea house. Forgive my son. May we start anew as the spring?
There's nothing to forgive. I thought the welcome was very kind.
Yes, thank you.
Host the others. This woman is a friend of a good friend. I will share her time.
Your perspiration increases. You recognize an unknown and respond with instinctive fear.
Don't worry. The family won't bother us, and no one else suspects. Living with these creatures for 5 years earns some credibility.
They're eccentric, maybe, but no different from anyone else.
You would say that, but even your people appreciate culture. Our employers surgically altered me to look like the real Baston. The only way to infiltrate a closed society. I got to know my family, raise children, kiss my wife. I don't care how exotic they look, their breath always smells like Minok dung. It's some spice in the blasted food.
That's one of the reasons why I always think of this guy whenever we did Voss. I'm one of those weirdos who likes to think about what things smell like and what things taste like in fiction. And so, I've been wondering what Voss smells like because of that line of dialogue right there. I mean, what is the spice they're using? Is it part of their digestion that makes it work that way? Is it true for all people, or just whatever species he originally was, etc., etc.?
Aside from their breath, is there anything else you've noted?
I know their tics and their customs. More about their tea than I thought possible. Problem is, they're stagnant. A tea house owner is a tea house owner for life. The real politics are above my station.
I can see why you haven't drawn attention. So, what's the word?
My orders were to find you a lead on Albathius, a human who showed up a few years ago. Voss called him the Shining Man. Where he came from is a mystery. It only took him 5 weeks to go from outsider to practically Voss. Went through a dozen rites to earn their respect. Knew their culture inside and out. Knew their politics. Textbook infiltration. Impossibly perfect.
Let me guess. No background, no known associates. Makes records disappear.
We couldn't find a vid of him arriving on the planet, and you saw what security is like. Anyway, just when it seems the Voss can't love him anymore, he dies in his sleep, buried with honors, mourned like one of them. No one's touched the case much since, so if you want to learn what the Shining Man was up to, you've got a nasty job. Start with the tomb.
You expect to find something with the body?
Something the Voss buried. Something in the body itself. It's a place to start, anyway. Tombs at the base of the mountain, holiest place a non-Voss can be interred. Predators keep the area clear these days. If you want to go in as a pilgrim, I've left clothes and instructions at a dead drop. Give me a call once you're in.
Theritan returns at sunset.
Our family must prepare a welcome. We will speak again.
So...
Survive.
I'm sure you caught the thematic significance of this. Oh, hey, Orcon, you changed your, I'm not sure what to call that. The thing that Diablo 3 does. Portrait thing. I'm sorry, I'm fighting that headache again. It's slowly getting worse. But yes, to my knowledge, the intelligence agency seat on the council is actually empty right now, which makes perfect sense. First of all, the council's kind of busy. Second of all, the council's dealing with some problems. And third, and most importantly, something that will happen after Voss. So I'm sure you caught the thematic significance there. Where? That's not the word I was going for, but it works perfectly well. The This guy, they understate it so hard, it's actually funny. This guy has been here for 5 years. Just undercover.
Please select an available travel route.
Like, legitimately deep cover. Completely, they killed someone and completely replaced him with another agent who has just been living his life for 5 years. Now, they only touch on this briefly, but the question of identity is something that's just kind of... Oh, wow, there we go. It's just kind of in the background there. And that'll come up again later. I actually do wonder if occasionally there are deep agents who are never found. Earlier, when we were doing Sith Warrior, there was a Jedi. A Jedi who was part of the Jedi Order, who was part of the front lines in Corellia, who had been working for Barriss for years. Yeah. Enough said, I suppose. Yep, there's also the general of his Republic troops. There's actually a lot. We see a lot of people who have been deep cover agents. No, I agree. Barriss was rather threatening on many levels. It's a good thing he was paranoid. Otherwise, he honestly probably would have won. Oh, and Vitiate exists, of course.
You're holding a Voss outfit, part of the pilgrim's ritual to the Shining Man's tomb. Best way to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Tradition says the pilgrim's supposed to collect ceremonial offerings from the Seeker's path. That'll be your first stop. Then the tomb itself. Just watch out for the subhumans. The Voss call them Gormak, but all you need to know is that they're vermin with blasters.
Does anybody know when I was muted? Because I have been talking for a while now. I'm really sick to death of that goddamn rock in my shoe, I'll tell you what. I don't remember everything I said, so I'm not going to repeat it all. Sorry, Evo, your question gets unanswered. I suppose that means everything I was talking about with regards to headaches didn't come across. And my answer to your writing prompt didn't get across either. Whatever. I'm in too much pain to be pissed off right now. I have no idea how long the expansions are, Ect. It's even worse because we're almost assuredly going to have to pause the stream for 4 days.
I'm in position.
Again.
Nothing in the sarcophagus but dust and a scroll.
Dust? No way the body decayed that fast on its own. Send me a high-res image and bring the scroll back. Dust sample, too. We'll see what analysis turns up.
What do you think this stuff is worth in the off-world markets?
I try not to wonder. I'm not leaving the family anytime soon. Baston out.
Survive.
If the Sith warrior had never left Barris's employ, am I unmuted? Would things have actually been worse? Honestly, I would say yes. Barris really did need to be removed from the board. He was problematic. The problem with Barris is he would be a terrible leader because of his paranoia. Like, no matter what he says or does or works or thinks or anything, he was always going to cause problems. Just the way that he treats loyalty is all I need to say about that. That's true, the Emperor's voice might have been trapped here, arguably forever. Well, no, we kind of deal with Sel Makora as part of the main story arc. So hypothetically, with Sel Makora being dealt with, the Emperor's voice might have been able to be freed. I'm not sure.
I wondered if you would return. Perhaps the tea?
Come share our meal. My brother Therod Tun is with us. We celebrate.
Tell us of the stars.
Oh yeah, by the way, you can marry his daughter.
Thank you. Dinner sounds lovely.
Come meet Therod Tun and my daughter.
I do not wish commando life. I welcome outsiders, not guard against them.
You would leave our world.
I would see Voss and other worlds. Your people bring change.
I wouldn't have pegged you for a military man.
Every Voss must be a commando.
I saw shrines, the shape of time in rubble. Ruins are beauty.
Father says you came to see Voss. How did you meet?
He's being modest, but I got his name from a business partner. I'd been wanting to see this place for years.
We have spoken enough. Our guest grows tired.
It has been our privilege.
I mention it because I think you can marry his son, too.
I appreciate you putting up with that. Let's get to work. I'll send the ashes for analysis, but I'm more interested in the scroll. It's sort of an epitaph. Calls the Shining Man a man of prophecy, who was made whole in the wellspring of the Shrine of Healing.
Man of prophecy. Something to do with the Voss Force sensitives.
The Mystics have a whole library of prophecies. The rest of the Voss revere the Mystics because their prophecies are always right. If the Mystics prophesied the Shining Man's arrival, it would explain why the Voss accepted him so easily. It's awfully convenient, though.
How do the Mystics operate exactly? They're fortune tellers, government advisors.
Influential as the Dark Council, reclusive as the Jedi Masters. About the second part, though, made whole in the wellspring of the shrine. The Shrine of Healing is a mystic sanctuary where people go to be cured. The sick and dying, or the spiritually wounded. Only a handful of pilgrims manage to complete the trek each year. I'd guess if the Shining Man was there, it wasn't for spiritual reasons.
You make it sound like a death march.
You've seen how bad it gets outside. But the Mystics don't seem to mind the rocks and the animals and the Gormek. There's a pilgrimage camp not too far from Voss Ka. One of the guides there can help you reach the shrine and the wellspring. My advice, if you'll take it, play by the Mystics' rules. It's not wise to defy the order of things.
And you should absolutely take that quote out of context. Because that's definitely an applicable quote to this story arc. Oh, whoops. Ah! Well, alright, whatever.
Administering microdroid repair.
So Blue Hero mentions, are you dressing up for Halloween? I'm considering dressing up as Thrawn. I usually put on the polemic outfit, but otherwise I haven't really thought about dressing up. I don't know, maybe I should go as Princess Lore.
You have faced the trials, outsider, but the wellspring is for the broken.
Another outsider came here, once. I have questions about him.
The Mystics tend the wellspring. The Mystics make bodies and minds whole. I disturb them for nothing less.
I may be an outsider, but I need guidance. There are terrible things in my past. I sometimes wonder who I am.
I will take you to Amin Lay. You must do this alone.
Will you survive what the Shining Man survived?
The fracture is deep. To rebuild a body, a spirit, one rebuilds history. The Vitalicron is the vessel of memory. Each petitioner fills. In a Vitalicron, the ceremony is preserved.
These Vitalicrons remember everyone who comes here.
Yes. Breathe the mists and speak true.
Damn it, I turned into Giga.
You are the tree. Your roots, the past, the universe is soil. The tree is sick. See what nurtures the roots, and remember a homeworld of ice. A proud people never trusting. Who were you then?
I knew the Empire disdained non-humans. I thought I would be the exception.
Perhaps you were at times. Consider now the seasons that shape the tree. First, a season of fire. You stamped out a spark. You could not purge the darkness. None but you could have tried. Then a season of famine. You stood alone. Your friends and foes carved the wood of your mind. Speak of the wound. Speak of your strength.
Both sides treated me like a puppet. It all started to seem pointless.
Now you are in a season of mists. All things are obscured. Your spirit seeks balance while the world crumbles beneath you. You must change. But what will you become?
No more control. No more orders. I want to choose my own fate.
Then you are truly healed.
The Honored One, Amin Lay, has spoken. The healing has been recorded. You hold a Vitalocron, the memory of your wholeness, technologically stored. It must go to our vaults.
Say I wanted to view one of these Vitalocrons.
Each Vitalocron is genetically locked. Only its creator may know what happened. 10,000 and more are stored in the vault. Honor us by placing yours within.
Mega Security Ward 23 went centuries without an intruder. This vault is too easy.
I mean, that's a little bit different of a tiering there.
Baston, I found a record of the Shining Man's visit to the shrine, but it's genetically locked.
Good thing you went tomb robbing. Sending the genetic workup on the Shining Man's ashes now. My contacts didn't find any identity matches, by the way. No evidence he existed before Voss.
Whatever this conspiracy is, its people aren't careless. Keep looking. Attempting to unlock the Vitalocron now. Looping you in on the audio feed.
Interface activated. Warning, the memory is corrupted. Came to us from the Nightmare Lands. You knew our ways. You bore a scroll.
I remember so little. What did the scroll say?
A prophecy from the Chamber of Ashes. It had been lost to us.
Die! Go back to the Nightmare Lands. Grateful for your trust, but I must leave soon for Voskar.
Trust does not matter. The prophecy you found speaks of you. You are healed. You are the Shining Man.
Huh. Doesn't tell us why the Shining Man was sent here, but now we know how he calmed the Voss.
He manufactured a prophecy somehow, and came to the shrine to earn the Mystic's approval. Then on to Voskar,
where the regular Voss learned to love him. What worries me is where he claims to have gotten that prophetic scroll. The Nightmare Lands are forbidden to the Voss. Legend says the ruins drive people insane, and our scouts come back in parts. Old ruins might be the only place he could find materials to fake a scroll of prophecy. But there's nowhere worse on the planet.
I want to know exactly where he's been.
Then I'll dig up what I can, but we've got some prep work to do. Meet me back at the tea house. Baston out.
I mean, you've already asked that question, Lataria. Let's be honest with ourselves. If people learn a horrific, nightmarish truth, their responses are 100% predictable.
This is why commandos exist.
I was one, Uncle. They are imperfect. Outsider, forgive us. No tea is prepared. Would you look at something?
Something's wrong. Tell me.
This came to us. It speaks to you.
Hello, Agent. Hope you get this in time, because your friend Baston doesn't have long. He's safe for now, but you know the drill. This stays between us. You want him back? Come to these coordinates. It's out in the Gormak lands, but that shouldn't be a problem for you.
We do not know him. The message came when Baston went into the city.
I've put your father in danger. I'll do everything I can to bring him back.
If he dies, if you die, I will put aside tea and avenge you.
I've never rescued anyone. I will pay attention. Your vital functions improve.
I have played all the Devil May Cries, yes. I'm quite fond of the franchise. But yeah, Latario, the way people respond to big, world-shattering truths is effectively 100% predictable. There's going to be denial, there's going to be freaking out, there's going to be violence, there's going to be complete attempts to shut it down, or to explain it, or whatever. Amongst that gamut, the denial crowd will be the largest and the loudest. They will merge with the shut down the information crowd, and eventually nobody will actually believe it as the truth, except for the few individual people who don't actually, jive with whatever the party line is. And that's how it'll work. Jay Palmer says, do I think that our good friend the agent was given a choice being surgically altered? No. Do I think it can be reversed? No.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Which one's my favorite? 5. No, I did not, Mike Demono. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with straight 5. 5 stumbles a few times, story-wise, but it's still amazing and just beats the other ones out of the park completely. Oh, it does not like the holocron, does it? Look at that. So Eva listed a writing prompt, which I've already answered. Writing prompt. Imagine you're an agent undercover in some remote and dangerous place. You're in over your head. The only way to get out of trouble is to stage your own death, but your friends and family, who definitely exist, wink wink, are obviously going to be devastated when the word gets out of your death. Question. What is the best way to go about warning them that you're alive without tipping off your enemies? So, ironically, this is what I was talking about earlier. Me and my friends and family already have code words baked into, just our existence, so that certain people know things that literally nobody else knows. It is a way to try and infer certain things in certain ways. That's true in real life. It's actually been applicable in real life, too. It's a helpful thing. I recommend everyone do it to some extent or another. However, the answer is, based on, absolutely no other information whatsoever, my agent character here probably would not actually inform family and friends that they are alive, because it is simply too risky to do so. Quite frankly, I'm pretty sure my character wouldn't even attempt to fake death. They would probably just actually kill themselves. No, I take that back. They'd fake their death first.
Detect a holo recorder on the body. Your friend is not here.
Then they would wait and watch for a while, make sure the heat actually dies down.
Hello, Agent. If you're hearing this, you must have found my messenger. I said I wanted to meet you. Still do. But privacy is in both our interests. The Voss commandos deploy scanning posts out here. Decommission them, and I'll send you final instructions.
I have beaten Devil May Cry 2. Devil May Cry 2 sucks. And I feel comfortable saying that because I've beaten Devil May Cry 2. That game is garbage. When Vector heals you, do you think he's subtly trying to indoctrinate you? Yes. Because why wouldn't you want to be a joiner? It's just so much better. The idea, Evo, is to fake the death first and then wait for a respawn on a quest item because this is Tor. The fake the death first to make sure it sticks, to make sure that nobody goes after their friends and family. What I mean by that is to make sure that it actually works for the purposes of their enemies. If their enemies decide to be vindictive or go after their friends and family anyways, then at that point the death, real or faked, did not serve its purpose. And at that point, they might as well go loud and try to get their friends and family out of there and do something about it. If, of course, it does work and their friends and family are safe, that's the point at which you are now safe to commit suicide and be done with it. For their sake. Baron asks, how much of a game... If Nihilus was around in the prequel trilogy era, how much would that be game? Let's be clear, that would be game regardless. The problem with Nihilus is that he's not particularly powerful, and he's not particularly skilled, and he's not particularly strong, and he's not particularly anything. But he is unique. That is all of what Nihilus is. It's why he was ejected from any consideration for the tournament we set up years ago. It's because he's Nihilus. Sorry, buddy. So any Force user is going to be stomped by Nihilus because Nihilus can eat them in a way that they can't counter.
Administering microdroid repairs.
No recordings this time. I finally get to see your face. Congratulations on disabling those scanners, sending coordinates to our meet.
I want proof that Baston is alive and unharmed.
Hold on. They have an old commando outpost. They will be waiting.
No, he'd just be able to Mary Poppins his way through space. I can't even say that with a straight face. With how horrifying the methods of Imperial intelligence are, do you think the SIS does similar stuff? They say that they don't. Well, at that point, that sounds like that becomes a mission to try and get your friends and family also out of our enemy's friends' sphere of influence, doesn't it? But I suppose my point here, Evo, is the faking death is only done in order to try and see if it works. If it works, great, but now you have nothing to live for, so. Nihilus would eat Vitiate, yes, because Vitiate is a Force user. That really is the beginning and ending of that equation. Nihilus would be like, oh, hi, Palpatine. Hello, Vader. Hello, Luke. It doesn't matter. Hello, Dreadmaster. Then he sees the Furt Master, and the Furt Master's like, how you doing? So. Remember this guy? No, really, do you? It's been a couple minutes.
Team Alpha down. She is tough.
But you are tougher, yes?
Yes, sir.
The Red Blade at last, the scheming Imperial who stole the crown of Crime King from me.
If we'd met, I'd remember you.
I am Fothra, exile of Hutta, last of the miasmic order of Ardos. You stoked the war between Nemro and myself. You made him ally with the Empire and I lost your feud. For months I wandered the galaxy like Zobara and No, the great Hutts of old. And then the truth was showed to me.
All right. What's this truth?
A Republic man contacted me, revealed your part. Thanks, Hunter. He gave me your name and said you'd be on Voss. Now, in accordance with the first blood law of Evona, I extract payment for misdeeds in the flesh.
Your friend in the Republic. Young, SIS, winning smile.
You know your enemies, but you underestimate me. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, in all honesty, this should actually be pretty terrifying. Because that's a Hutt. With nothing to lose, I feel like adding. Naturally, the actual fight will not be against the Hutt, it'll be against his cronies. Because, I don't know why, don't ask me.
The boss is out. Job's over. Get off-world.
You killed them. You killed my masters. You have ruined me again.
You should have tempered your ambitions. Found yourself a casino on Nar Shaddaa. Now you leave me no choice.
Cool.
Someone really wants you dead to go digging up your past. Trying to keep you from the Shining Man.
Your wounds are fatal. How does that make you feel?
I'm not making it home. But at least I'll die an Imperial instead of a blasted alien.
Oh, goody. That's just what I wanted to hear from this.
I mean to finish this mission, but I need your help.
I was studying the Nightmare Lands when I was captured. The Chamber of Ashes. It's where the Shining Man supposedly found his scroll of prophecy. The only maps of the Nightmare Lands are locked in the Capitol building. Carvings, tapestries. You'll never find your way without them.
If there's anything I can do, just name it.
Make the last 5 years matter. My Voss family. They'll get you inside. Get you to the maps. Never thought I'd die here.
Great. I'm not sure there is one, Lothario. Unless you mean trying to convince Father to back down. In which case, that's the answer to your question. Instead of, just killing him. Killing him is a lot quicker and more, conclusive, though.
Perhaps it is destined.
The mystics haven't spoken.
Not to us. We may hope.
Outsider, where is my brother?
I did everything I could, but I was too late. He died thinking of his family. He was also helping me with something. With his dying breath, he told me to go to you.
Baston thought of you as family. Mourn with us.
You would see the Nightmare Lands. Baston asked about the sacred carvings. The carvings are protected heritage. Only a Voss may study them.
This is kind of messed up to think about. The dude did not love his family. It's very clear that he kind of hated this job and hated having to be here, resented it, racism, etc. What's messed up, though, is they didn't know that. No, I did not, Linkelda. Hit refresh. Sometimes that makes it pop up. They didn't know that. They think he was loyal. They think he was who he wasn't. And yeah, exactly. It's the point here is we're lying for their sake so they can maintain that particular image of who their family member was. Just kind of chop that off right there.
There must be a way. Baston thought you could show me.
Baston prized your friendship. We must honor that. Only Voss see the carvings. You must be Voss. Become one of our family.
Marriage. I think I already mentioned this.
What does joining your family entail?
Phaeton, are you willing?
I am. A father finds a wife. Baston never did this for me. Join our family in marriage.
You don't have to do this. Not for me or your father.
Baston wanted to help. So do I.
We mourn later. Make preparations. Go to the sacred flame in the city. You will be married today. You will see the carvings of Nightmare Lands. Baston's wishes fulfilled.
What's really messed up, if you think about it, is this does help to show just how loyal some members of the Imperial Intelligence Agency are. And I'm not actually sure why. I believe the other method is violence. You threaten them to get you in, and I just can't bring myself to do that. It would especially be out of character for this character at this point in time. The way I'm playing her. Because, I mean, honestly, what's the point in telling them the truth here other than cruelty? There it is. Sorry for the trouble, Linkelda. I know Twitch is Twitch. Thank you for the sub. I'll put that towards Naruto.
Every bond you create saps your strength as an individual.
To be proper, we would ride Bolifants here through incense clouds. This is proper enough.
You can still back out if you want.
Thank you. No, this scroll contains our oaths. Read, and I will begin. You who have no family, come to join the family of Nyatan, who birthed Jitan under the prophecy of 10,000 seeds. You come to bind yourself to a son of Baston. We are children. Will you become Voss with me?
I will become Voss with you. A child no longer.
Will you embrace the traditions of our people? Will you walk with the Voss to our destiny?
I will walk the 1,000-year path, so long as you are beside me. Phaeton, will you pledge your dreams? Pour your life into my cupped hands, as I will for you.
I would have no other.
Then we walk before the flame.
Fun thought of the day. After the events of Corellia, he will never see us again.
So long as prophecy allows, we are one. Only the word of a mystic will break our bond. May it never happen. Our family is gathered. We will celebrate first, then walk you to the carvings. No one will deny your right to see.
No time to waste. The Nightmare Lands are waiting.
Tomorrow morning, you will journey into darkness. We will find the path now.
Cypher 9 to ship. The Voss have shown me their sacred carvings, and informed me that a Sith, Merbeg Gen, can provide safe passage into the Nightmare Lands. All evidence indicates our conspirator came from there. I mean to seek out the Shining Man's base of operations, and learn the conspiracy's connection to this world.
Your vital functions improve.
Thank you. So, taking away gameplay options to enhance story is certainly a thing. It's even a thing I'm in favor of, but it's also a thing you have to be extraordinarily careful with, because it is very easy to screw up. This very story arc has done exactly that. Earlier, when we were brainwashed, there were multiple dialogue options where you actually have no dialogue options. No matter what you pick, you always say the same thing, because you're brainwashed. That's an example of what I'm talking about. They take away gameplay in order to elevate the story. But still, they didn't do so casually or needlessly, and they did so to enhance what was happening. Chrono Trigger is arguably another example of something like this when we are on board the Blackbird. There are other examples, but you get my point. That's my overall answer to you. If you're going to do something like that, you need to think very carefully about it, because A, not everyone's going to like it. Like, pretty much no matter what, you're guaranteeing you're going to piss off at least some of your players. And B, like I said, it is so easy to screw up. It's pretty much in the same vein as a supposed to lose fight, which is a common thing, weirdly enough. Hey, Knock Loose. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. I'm fighting off a migraine right now. Again. Or still, I suppose. Don't worry, the Jedi already have brainwashing juice. It's a good fight to teach you what Kingdom Hearts bosses are going to be like, Mr. Red, but I'm not sure as far as in terms of opinion, since I've never reviewed Kingdom Hearts 1. Maybe someday we'll actually do the Kingdom Hearts block and see how that series actually lines up. Because I have a feeling Kingdom Hearts 1 is not going to score particularly well. I don't know the lightsaber styles, like, at all, console. I get a lot of questions about those, and every time I just kind of go, ugh, because I don't know any of them. That being said, obviously, we all know that Vapod or Vapod, or however you pronounce it, is clearly the best. Okay. Vapod, maybe? I don't know.
Survive.
2-round depot.
System errors detected. Hardware errors detected. Activating defense systems.
A life form is approaching. This ship calls to it.
You come for the Shining Man. Come for his machine that fell from the stars. He camped here 3 moons, studying ancient ways, writing Voss scrolls, writing Voss prophecies in blood and ink.
What's your name? How do you know about the Shining Man?
Xenar, outcast. I saw him come. Look. I hold the memory of this star machine in my hand. The Shining Man corrupted it before he left. Would have burned it. I saved it.
Your technique with computer systems is admirable.
Now we bargain for his records.
You have my attention. What do you want for the ship's data?
The Shining Man arrives, walks in my land, steals my treasures. He makes me angry. Then I watch Shining Man shed skin and become Voss. This is a great feat. He leaves for Voss' shrine. I study his ways to learn his powers. You will take me to him, so I can learn more.
I'm sorry, but he's buried below Voss Car. I found his ashes.
You lie! You are strong! You die!
I didn't know. Alright, whatever. That makes this a lot easier anyways.
Fools always believe they can defeat me.
I stopped his last wish before. Now I put it back.
Final message. The Nightmare Lands have begun to seriously affect my mind. I do not recommend sending initiates here. Let them train to resist the Force somewhere else. Leaving for the shrine tonight. The prophecy is ready. The Voss believe in martyrs, and I'll play this role to the end. Give Hunter my love. Transmit. Activate destruct sequence.
I stopped it last time. This time we all burn.
Dying here is pointless. Hand over the data and come with me.
The ship is built for atomic annihilation. My core systems may survive, but you will not.
Yeah, I already left, Scorpio. Oh no, that atomic blast from 30 feet away. Just, whoa.
Daughter of my family, forgive this demand. The interpreters of prophecy contacted. They wish to give a message.
I've never heard of them. Something to do with the mystics?
They study what mystics see. They advise our leaders. The interpreters have been watching you and the Nightmare Lands. They say the Chamber of Ashes was set ablaze. They say a prophecy speaks of this. Of you. You will meet the three. Those who govern Voss.
Tell them I'm on my way now.
The three await you in the capital. I am proud of you, my kin.
God, I hate Star Killer so much. Oh, sorry. Had a bit of just flashback there in my brains. Also, I know I'm not really showing it, Giga, but you're making me laugh inside. Orcano, you are not making me laugh. Oh, sorry.
You summoned me?
You walk among Voss. You are not Voss. You share tea with low-born families and mystics.
Low-born?
Your arrival burned the Chamber of Ashes. A prophecy speaks of these things.
The one prophesied must be brought before the three, given attention and honest aid.
Do you believe in prophecy, outsider?
No.
I'm not a Sith or a Jedi, and I'm certainly not Voss. It's not my place to say.
Interpretation is a delicate art.
The prophecy that fits you fit the Shining Man. Perhaps both were prophesied. Perhaps one is false. We aid you as we aided him. If one is false, this meeting ensures destiny.
You're worried you helped the wrong man. I'm your insurance.
The three are practical.
The Shining Man told us the secrets of your galaxy. He proposed we make no alliance with outsiders for 3,000 days. In return, he promised the Gormak will be eliminated.
He promised our world will be free from outsiders. No new ships will enter our system.
He promised the Republic and the Empire will cease to exist. We promised the Shining Man to ally with none.
All this time, we've been trying to win you over, and you were allied with the conspirators.
For 3,000 days, we were offered much for little. If the Shining Man's masters are prophesied to succeed, your insight changes nothing. If you are prophesied to succeed, our part is finished. You may go. Act as you wish.
You owe me more than that. I fulfilled your prophecy. I want your help.
What do you wish?
You know that I married a Voss. I want my family taken care of while I'm gone.
We will do this kindness.
Your time on Voss is over. Your battle is elsewhere.
In the shrine you were healed. In Voskar you found family. You came to us broken and leave remade. A mystic asked that I speak those words and give you this. Remember our people.
I actually like that. It's a nice showcasing of Voss in general, and it helps to explain a lot of tidbits. We see now that the Cabal is why Voss has stalwartly refused any attempted alliance despite all other operations and mediums. We also see that there's more of a delicate nuance to how they interpret their prophecies rather than total and strict adherence. And we see they're not above politicking as well. I suppose I should just do this.
Survive.
I don't know, it depends on what the prophecy is, Secto. I know, you get this in Agent. I've said this left and right, but let's be very clear. Agent is the main story of Tor. Vanilla. Not in the sense that it's the most singularly impacting or, feels the most like a typical main character story. That would actually be Sith Warrior. But Agent is by far the one most relevant to all of the various plots going on across the game. It also shows us the most insight into everything that's going on. It is ironically why I usually recommend people do Agent last, because once you've done everything else, you have context.
This is Cypher 9 to headquarters. Stand by for a full report and data upload.
Receiving data, Cypher 9. I'll send it for processing right away, but you'll have to save the report. We need you back at headquarters immediately. Orders from above.
Oh yeah, and who's ready for things to go extremely badly?
What disaster is in store this time?
I'm sorry. I can't give more details. Watcher 3 out.
We've never seen him act like that.
I'm sure he's merely distracted. Shall we head home?
Administering microdroid repairs.
Really wish I could actually warp from here. Why do they make this a no warp zone? You know, the sad thing is, I would actually believe that Kira White Noise. And there. It just have to go right over that line to be able to warp over there.
You will live.
It's probably worth noting that the way that fast travel works in this game is new. It didn't use... None of these things worked this way back then. There was no warp to ship. The fleet passes were, like, a little bit different than this. And even the quick travel network actually operated differently. So, you remember me mentioning earlier that there is, and has been, no seat of intelligence in the Dark Council, at least since, Jadis died?
Charged particle traces suggest recent weapons discharge.
Failure and disobedience are one and the same.
Hello, Razor.
My lord, I tried. In the Sith tongue, both translate as treason. That is the wisdom of the ancients.
Put Watcher 3 down.
The Cypher Agent. You defeated the traitor Jadis and the fools in the SIS. My masters acknowledge your service. But you serve intelligence no longer. By order of the Dark Council, Operations Division is dissolved. Personnel will be reassigned to wartime units or to deserving Sith Lords.
We all take just a minute, to really process how mind-numbingly stupid that is. Of all of the many stupid things that the Sith do, I legitimately think this is the stupidest thing in the entire game. They have dissolved Imperial intelligence and disseminated its agents out into regular military. Do I even need to explain that? By the way, this is stupid. Even if, like, the story started here, you could tell this is stupid, right? But hang on. The entire... Oh, this hurt my head. The entire Agent story arc has been emphasizing over and over and over again just how much Imperial intelligence is the only thing keeping the Sith Empire functioning. It's not just an agent, too. We've seen tidbits of this periodically throughout the other storylines, right? This is just... This is bonkers. To just continue the parallel for 1 second, imagine, this would never happen, of course, but imagine for a moment that an entire, like, nation just decides to dissolve every janitor, that no one can ever work as a janitor again throughout the course of that nation. How many days do you think that's going to last? Now, hang on. As absolutely bizarre as this sounds, this makes perfect sense to me. At this point in time, with all that has happened up until this point in time, everything with the Dark Council literally losing members and falling apart from within, and so many of the Sith are hyper-focused on their own ambitions to the literal detriment of the surrounding, to the Imperial military, which has been shooting itself in the foot constantly. This honestly feels like this is just another step in how much the Sith Empire is killing itself. Now, the catch here, ironically, is this should be the step that actually ruins the Sith Empire. Unfortunately, I know they still exist as of the most recent expansion. But I'll tell you what I would do if I was working on this. I would use this as an excuse to basically destroy the Sith Empire. Maybe if you have to keep the faction system going for whatever gameplay reason, repurpose it in some way. But this should be the end of the Sith Empire right here.
With due respect, operations is needed now more than ever.
Yes, it is. The war does not go well, whatever the official word. The Ministry of War must have resources, and intelligence fails to do its part. We hear rumors of corruption and treason. Agents wasted chasing conspiracies. A brain-dead keeper. Time to butcher the beast for its meat.
Did you catch that? It was so subtle, I don't even blame you if you didn't. I didn't catch that the first time I played this. Well, I'm actually red with him there. Look at that. The Ministry of War is what's pushing for this. This is Barris's move.
I won't argue the point. What happens next?
You take on your new role.
Ship secure, my lord. We found the alien outside a cantina.
I was on a break. What's the deal?
Intelligence may overlook her past, but she is an anarchist and an enemy of the Empire. She will be interrogated and judged.
I will kill you. You get that? I will kill you!
I'm sorry. I don't think we have much of a choice.
These people are dead, and when I'm through with them, you and me are gonna finish this! I swear!
The rest of your team can remain intact. As for you, by special request of the Minister of Intelligence, you are being transferred to my brigade on the Corellian front lines. Together, we will drown the Republic in blood.
I'm so sorry, sir.
You will know your assignments. Get moving.
Administering microdroid repairs.
So, we have just been converted into frontline ground pounder. Let's be very clear. I actually have a huge amount of respect for ground pounders, but that's not what we are. This is an inordinate misuse and abuse of resources. And with that, I think we'll chop off for lunch.